Welcome to Superchat. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We are going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. The very first channel that we're looking at today is somebody who's been an incredibly generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter to all of us for a few years now. This is CraftyWitch232. And right away you're going to see in the thumbnails here some of the creative things that they're bringing to us. They're very known for crochet, but they do much more. They actually say they craft all the things, including cross-stitch, 3D printing, jewelry making, perler beads, and even more. This creator has collaborated with others, and I have seen them even go as far as to play a video game on their channel. When we dig through the shorts over here, you start to get an idea of some of the things that they're typically making, and a lot of what they make is made to sell, as a matter of fact, in different markets and trade show type ideas or cons and stuff like that. When we look at how many views some of these have gotten, they're into 10,000 and 14,000 views. You see a lot of pop culture references here. A mix of 3D printing and crochet seems to be the dominant couple of formats, but this creator live streams just about every day as well. And this is one of the fastest growing channels that we've seen in the Superchat family over the last 6 years, literally, because of a couple of reasons. First of all, CraftyWitch232 is incredibly supportive to others, not just here in these live streams, but I have run into them a zillion times in other people's premieres and live chats as well, which tells me that they're out supporting others as well. Greenland Quilter Katie is another creator we're going to look at in a moment. She came in and dropped a super chat tonight so that we would look at CraftyWitch232 before we even started, knowing that Greenland Quilter Katie's also doing the live stream at the same time. So they came in earlier and wanted to make sure we got a chance to look at her friend. And that tells me that this creator's had great impact on her friend as well. When we look at the live streams here, typically what you find is CraftyWitch232 on for at least a couple of hours. Some of them get pretty lengthy. And this creator is usually crocheting away, but does a great job of keeping up with the chat as well. You can tell she's a dynamic creator. And she does a little bit of other crafting in those live streams as well. And once in a while, she mixes things up, brings on a StreamYard panel guest and things like this. So hopefully everybody will enjoy the variety and content you get with CraftyWitch232, crafting of all types. But like I said, an incredibly generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And again, the reason we looked at that channel is because Greenland Quilter Katie snuck in here about an hour ago and dropped a super chat. And she's done that kind of thing a million times before. Like I said, she's live right now, but let's get her channel ready to go, and we'll talk about that in a moment while we do some introductions. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description, you'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. And thank you everybody for the thumbs up, for the shares, and for your patience today. I try not to move the streams around once they're set if I can help it, but I had an unpredictable last second addition to my traditional work day today, and couldn't be certain of start time, so I pushed it a little bit later, but I appreciate the patience for everybody, especially our moderators. You know, I try to always politely say that, you know, something has to be moved, but I realized today I was sending them all a message in a special Instagram group that we keep, and I was doing the text-to-speech thing, and I was like, oh, that's not my usual grateful, you know, kind of sounding self and this and that, but I can't tell you how much our moderators do for me, for us, and for this channel and many others. So I hope everybody will connect with all of our moderators. They are some of the most supportive creators that I've met in my now 9 years on YouTube. And these creators were all dear friends with each other, together, separately. and they all care deeply about the YouTube journey. So hopefully everybody will connect with them. Now, on the wheel that you see here, if you haven't seen this before, is our members and moderators for now. But over the course of the next 3 hours or so, I'm going to add names to the wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of today's stream. We put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen right away when those things happen, and then we get around to spinning the wheel, which I'm sure I'll do shortly. My computer seems to want to freeze on me right now. I've got a window that doesn't want to work, so I'll get you to bear with me while I am somewhat distracted, but it's okay. I've got quite a few names on the wheel so far, and we'll fill that up and keep moving in another moment when we look at Greenland Quilter Katie. Actually, right before we talk about our content, let me just talk about some of the channels that I've already got on the wheel. Scratch and PP and Just Jason Keto, of course, up at the top as beloved and dedicated moderators. Rushing Wind Mountain and So Magic Fabric Magician were both early in the door. Yes, Nomads and Van Lot are also here. Foraging and Urban Farming and Adventures with J Videos, who's fairly new to us actually, is here. And then Guys Craft 2 is also on the wheel. So I'll fill that wheel up like I was saying in another few moments here. My window, look at this, just wants to spin and freeze and not do anything productive. I'll try to sort this out in the background. And when we look at Greenland Quilter Katie, like I said, this creator happens to be live right this second. But typically they bring us a lot of different content. They're talking quilting most of the time. They got a podcast that even continues. They got a different bunch of videos right now because they just took a trip to Denmark. I think they were there for 3 weeks, if I remember correctly. And they've got quite a bit more footage to bring us. So there's lots to continue on this channel. When they started coming into the Tuber Chat family about a year and a half ago, I started seeing a lot of these videos that were giving us a look around Greenland. But I came to know about the podcast later. They've done some shopping videos, and then they've got plenty of shorts on the channel as well. And these typically give us another look around Greenland in a lot of interesting ways, getting it to thousands of views here. And then they've got live streams on the channel like the one they're doing right now. I'm not sure how long they'll be on for. You can see they're usually on for 2 or 3 hours. Pardon me. If they're finished before us, they might come in here. And what we're planning, we're a little bit later today, but Michael's Adventures moved his daily premiere from 8 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. So we'll go and read into that after today's live stream. Oh, there's Crafty Witch 232. We just looked at your channel. Her name is Andy. And then Not Your Average Woodworks is here. Canadian Family Life is also in the house. I'm going to get them on the wheel. Forgive me for not doing the introduction so thoroughly right away. Ms. Tarot D is here. My window is freezing in the background. Wayne On Away is also in the house. And there's Michael's Adventures right there, another beloved and dedicated moderator. Simply Debbie Sue is everywhere. It doesn't matter what time of the day I manage to sneak into YouTube or whether I'm on for a little while, I run into her supporting all kinds of people. And I'll tell you something else. I really think that Simply Debbie Sue understands like the whole Tuber Chat concept and what we're doing here, which is not my idea. It's an adaptation of things people were doing for several years. There's lots of grow streams out there. But the fact that we focus on friendships, we focus on quality connections, I noticed that Simply Debbie Sue seems to really be cherry-picking connections. They're very supportive to all kinds of people, but I really think that Simply Debbie Sue is one of the most recent people I've seen come into the Tuber Chat family that truly gets how to maximize value here, which is what I wish for everybody. I want everybody to get what they want out of YouTube, but I want you to get more out of your time here in these streams than you plan for. You know what I mean? We're all, life is short. I appreciate the fact that people come and sometimes spend up to 3 hours here, but I want to make sure you walk away saying, I wish there was more instead of that was too long or all the other things we could say. And forgive me while I drag on my speeches while I try to catch up with the wheel and the chat and everything. I got Canadian Family Life on the wheel. Butler Family Farm's been added there as well. Mac Movement is here. Good to see you in the house. I ran a playlist for them just the last few days. Aaron the Carnivorish Guy, good to see you here. And again, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. I know I say that a million times. Ace Flaw 1, Andy's been with me for about 7 years. Pardon me, am I losing my train of thought? I've been on YouTube for 9 years. Superchat's been here for 6 years. Andy's been a friend for about 7 years from Ace Flaw 1. And then Relic Rat, good to see you here. Thank you for coming back in. This girl Sawyer is in the house. I just put Booby Goats on the wheel. They've been doing a lot of live streaming lately. I caught them a couple of times this week, and I'm looking forward to this weekend because we're streaming today, which means we won't be on again until Monday. And I expect to be on YouTube pretty much all weekend long. If there's any luck in the world, maybe I'll film something or edit something. I've got plenty of stuff to do. I haven't finished. I got a million open projects now. Probably a dozen videos, and I'm not exaggerating, not to mention the things on the table that I still have to unbox and review and all that stuff, but I'll try to be productive this weekend. What we're looking at right now, like I said, Greenland Quilter Katie, so I know she knows I will always be thankful for the super chats and membership gifts. We always put those people on the screen right away when those things happen. It's absolutely unnecessary here, but always appreciated, of course. And then I'll spin the wheel and we'll get to this girl Sawyer. Is going to be the first time that they've been picked first from the wheel. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. You hear me grunting in the background. Forgive me. My window was really freezing. Forgive me. This girl Sawyer, I thought we were already connected, but we're not. They don't have content just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and subscribe and put the notification bell on, so we'll be ready for them when they do produce content, if they're going to. And Scratch and Pete PA, thank you so much for catching those. Yeah, I missed them both, literally. You saw my window freezing there. Thank you, Butler Family Farm. And I think Scratch and Pete said Wayne on Away also dropped a super chat as well, so please forgive me for missing those. Like I said, I don't know what the story is with my window, why it was acting silly, but we'll get those channels up on the screen in another moment here. And I really do appreciate the extra generous support. Like I said, absolutely unnecessary. Grant's faithful GLP1 Journey has done that 100 times, if not more, and I certainly do appreciate that as well. So we're building up quite a little bit of a list here, as we usually do, and I'm grateful for that. And then, oh, thank you, this girl Sawyer. Well, hopefully everybody will connect with them. And like I said, we'll be ready for them if they're going to produce content. How wonderful would it be for somebody to put up their first video and already have 100 subscribers? So this girl Sawyer's out there supporting people all the time, including here in Superchat. I think they've been with us a few times now. It's just maybe the first time we got the channel on the wheel. So let's get Wayne on Away up right now then. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Pappy's Woodworks, good to see you in the house, and the Feral Grandma along with Mike's Adventure Sparks have both been added to the wheel. Again, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Wayne on Away's been making frequent appearances lately, so thank you for coming in. I know we've got a lot of recent new friends. Some of our friends are doing some woodworking in different types. You're starting to notice a good half a dozen channels that have come in. I believe that started between Van Lot and a couple of other friends as well. So I certainly do appreciate that. You know, everybody with the thumbs up, the shares, the wonderful things I know people are saying about Tuber Chat. Some of it I catch, some of it I know I don't, and I know everybody's doing that for each other as well. Fairbrick Studio was here earlier. I'm not sure if they're still in the house. Mac Movement. These are a couple of creators who do tons and tons of shout outs for other people. Lots of people do. Scratch and PPA does giveaways in his video series. He puts extra work into including shout outs in his video series as well, but we'll talk about that soon enough. When we look at the Wayne Onaway Woodworks, this is a channel I'm still getting to know, but what I'm going to do is take one of their latest videos. This looks like an interesting activity. I certainly do love water, but I haven't done a lot of these things. I'm going to put this into a special playlist I use. I call it my ketchup list, and this is a fun name for a playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. We can see they're bringing us a lot of outdoor footage, but they're bringing us a bit of travel as well, which is great. Like I said, I'm still getting to know the channel. They got shorts over here, and they're bringing more variety in the shorts videos, as a lot of creators do. They've gotten into 10,000, 17,000, 19,000 views. My dear goodness, which is great to see. 333 subscribers right now. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards the 400 we know that they're thinking about. Jaja Brownie 1 is in the house. I'm going to get them onto the wheel, and I see that Not Your Average Woodworks is gifting 5 memberships right now, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate the extra generous support. I know all the recipients will be happy to have those. Any of them that are in the chat or that come into the chat, I'll put them on the wheel right away, of course. Masciano, good to see you in the house. And my goodness, yeah, we're flying again. And thank you, everybody, especially because we moved our stream. So I can't be certain about the 30-minute notifications. I think they went out today. I am constantly confused over 6 years now, 9 years really, on YouTube about how these notifications are so inconsistent, where I've said for years, if you move your live stream within, I don't know, 24 hours or something from the time it's supposed to be on, same goes for premieres, your notifications may not go out. But today, there was a good handful of people in the chat a half an hour before we started, so it makes me think they might have gone out. And Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Ms. Taro D will be happy to have that. If they're still in the chat, I'm going to put them on the wheel right away because they were here earlier. Everybody's messages get trapped and our moderators have to approve them from Booby Goats. But that's a very dynamic creator. Definitely a fun channel and somebody who's out supporting people, including us, all the time. I'm laughing in the background because for those of you who haven't seen it, like what we do is some of us who live stream will keep a window over here so that we can look at the chat in the background, and then some of the messages we see getting caught and the moderators have to get them. And I certainly do appreciate that. It's a tiny example of some of the things that moderators do while we're live streaming to help, not just here, but on anybody's channels, in premieres, live streams, and everything else. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And then Ms. Taro D, I'm going to get you onto the wheel. I wonder if I have, what did I do with this thing? Did I make the... I think it was GIFs, right? Was the thing, yeah. And then Nightbot will take Scratch and PPA put that together for us a while ago, and then I put it in Nightbot to be a command. I forget to do it all the time, but the idea is that you have to have gifted memberships enabled for yourself, as in if you want to be eligible to receive them, there's a switch you can put on, and you wonder to yourself, why would somebody not want that on? There are a few creators that don't have that don't want to receive gifted memberships, right? I typically don't. I think one of the best features with memberships is the fact you don't have to be a member on a channel to gift them. So I have it off so I don't receive gifted memberships, but enough people do a lot of that kind of thing on this channel, so obviously we're doing fine. And again, it's absolutely unnecessary, but I love gifting memberships when I'm out on other people's channels. I have memberships with all of our moderators here, but gifting memberships is a wonderful thing. And, you know, there's no right or wrong in any of it. There's no right or wrong in the choices. There's lots of ways we can support each other. There's a million free things we can do for each other, between the thumbs up and sharing is one of the biggest things, especially on outside social networks where you can really give somebody a little bit of a big up, as we like to say. New times, new beginnings. Good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And then, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Butler Family Farm is up on the screen right now. They gifted a membership as well. And hopefully I'm not getting behind with anything. Forgive me while I try to keep up with the chat here. And Pampered with Diamonds is in the house. I've got them on the wheel. I just want to make sure I'm not going to miss anything. Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey is coming up, and then Not Your Average Woodworks will be right after that. So Butler Family Farm, this is a long-time friend. They've been with us for several years now, and this is Jerry and Susan. As a matter of fact, in just another week and a half or so, they've got a 42nd year wedding anniversary coming up, if you can imagine that. They do live streams weekly. I've been on their channel several times. Jerry's on a million channels. He does a ton of live streaming and collaborating with people. What they do on their channel, though, is they bring us 116 acres of farming and homesteading style content. So they show us around the farm. They bring us the livestock, including cattle, goats, donkeys, horses, llamas, chickens, cats, dogs, bees, kois, rabbit. I said kois, but I meant koi. Rabbits and more. And I love remembering that. I know I've got it right, too, from saying it like 100 times, because Butler Family Farm tries to be with us for every stream, and I certainly do appreciate that. But they're everywhere all the time. If they're not working on the farm, they are meeting up with other creators or supporting on YouTube and hosting panels and joining panels and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know why some of my red lines today are not going all the way across again. I've got that video on my catch-up list. I'm probably going to just have to rerun it. Maybe that's it. Otherwise, Butler Family Farm. So like I said, they take us around the farm. Jerry's really excited about the bees. They've had these for a few years now. I think we're on year number 3 for the bees, if I'm not mistaken. They live in Missouri. They bring us into their kitchen. They do canning, cooking, prepping. They bring us special dinners, whether they're just cooking at home or whether they're out cooking for dozens of other people. Sometimes they do these meetups where Jerry will get behind a grill or a barbecue and literally be cooking for up to 70 channels worth of creators and supporters with other people. They've got shorts on this channel that have gotten into 12,000 views, 13,000, 55,000. And if you dig through the videos, you'll find Jerry in the shop doing some woodworking of his own, as a matter of fact. He does beautiful work. We've seen pens, pencils from him, of which he generously sent me a set. I wish I had it beside me. He knows my long speech about that. I don't have it beside me right now. But I've showed it on camera a couple of times, and you've probably seen them on other people's channels, as well as one of the things I remember greatly is these charcuterie boards that Butler Family Farm did that Jerry made in the shop. They are remarkable, to say the least. So hopefully everybody will check those out. Butler Family Farm has let us know they've used the YouTube promotion system to push the channel really hard, which is a way of using paid advertising to grow your channel. Not something I expect to ever use, not something I expect to ever recommend. It's a different way of growing, which means different results for your channel. But he shares information about that as well in another series of live streams. He gets together with Belt Loop 29, another friend, mutual friend of just about everybody here, and they talk about the things that they learn along the way with their YouTube channel to help people starting out. And then Jerry gets involved in Jerry and Susan both get involved in a cook-along live stream with Devil Dog and Cooking with the Munchie Mafia official, and that's another thing that happens every month as well. So they do all kinds. And Jerry and Susan are really, like, you know, they're on all the time. They're with us just about every day. I certainly do appreciate that. Coker Culture is also here. Tim Mitchell's in the house. And thank you, Jerry, for the, and Susan, pardon me. I always say Jerry, but Susan's always with him. You know, they're very much always together. And, like I said, I've been on their channel with them a few times now. But thank you, Jerry and Susan, for the super chat. Again, they've done that a million times, if not a zillion, and I certainly do appreciate it. I always say it, but it's absolutely unnecessary. Jerry did, they did, see, I did it again. They did take over the Stream Boss position, and that's the video game life meter you see under my camera here. Every Super Chat membership and highlighted milestone message knocks a little bit of life off of the Stream Boss, and then the last person to knock it out and take over gets some extra exposure for their channel. And pardon me while I'm clicking all over the place and making all kinds of mistakes. I make as many as anybody, I promise you. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And Sarah Presswood is in the house, of course. Thank you for being here again. Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey also dropped a super chat and a gifted membership, actually. So hopefully... oh, and forgive me, Jerry, I forgot to mention the contest. Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey. I'm going to talk about your channel in a second, but I did miss one important thing from Butler Family Farm. How am I going to find this thing now? On Facebook, they have this contest. Actually, they've got a video about it. I keep saying the same thing over and over again. They've got a video here, America's Favorite Couple. So please, when you get to their channel, I know we talk about connecting with videos that are 3 minutes or longer. That's very important because quality of connections is what stops YouTube from taking those subscriptions away after. Nobody wants to lose a bunch of subscribers tomorrow. It happens all the time when we don't connect thoroughly, which means watching a video from beginning to end at least 3 minutes long, leaving a meaningful, genuine comment, giving the thumbs up, subscribing, putting the bell on, and then maybe watching a few more videos. But if everybody would, check out this other video that they've got, America's Favorite Couple Contest. We can vote on that every day on Facebook as a minimum, and there might be other things you could do, but I'll leave it to you to watch the video. We'd love to do, it's in the spirit of doing everything we can for each other, right? But always exciting to see any of our friends participating in any kind of a social media campaign. Twinbrook Acres, good to see you here. If you seek Amy K, good to have you in the house. And now Faithful GLP1 Journey, you know them as Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey in the chat. This creator dropped a super chat again, and they have done this a million times before, like I said. Vintage V Mars, thank you for coming in. I've got you on the wheel. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. When we look at what Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey is doing here, first of all, there's spiritual inspiration that will come in all of the content. And you'll get that idea when you get over there. Why am I behind on your videos? I don't know why I'm so far behind looking at this. I'm just going to grab the latest one, though. I'm going to put this in my catch-up list. That's that playlist I talk about. When I have channels on the screen, if I haven't seen something, especially like the latest video, I usually put it in that playlist. Not always, but most of the time. This is how I'm able to get through at least dozens, if not hundreds of videos per week sometimes, right? Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey is going to give us some beginner tips in the latest video, but it looks like they're doing quite a bit of travel as well for us and bringing us to some touristy destinations. I've seen some fitness from this creator in a few different videos, and I've caught them for live streams. They've got shorts over here that have gotten into 1,500, 1,600 views, and then when we look at live streams, we see that they're on frequently, my dear goodness. So I caught them a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one of these again soon. But they are on pretty frequently. It looks like 3, almost 4 times a week. My goodness. So hopefully everybody will connect. Obviously a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. But we're looking at 2,000 subscribers for this channel. They're officially on the road now and climbing fast, obviously. So we'd love to push them a little bit closer to that milestone. And thank you again, Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. Although those kinds of things are absolutely unnecessary here. I know I say it a million times, but it's absolutely true. It can be a very long wait to get onto the wheel or the screen. Everybody truly has the chance. It has to do with how active everybody is, how engaged you are in conversation here. And we'll get to as many channels as we can in the next 2.5 hours, as we always do. But I certainly do appreciate the extra generous support. And like I said, Grant's faithful GLP-1 journey has done that many times before. So what we're going to do right now, we'll take our first break of today. We're going to go for 3.5 minutes. We can get a drink, rest our voice, do all the things we need to do. And we will come back to look at Not Your Average Woodworks. They actually gifted 5 memberships a few minutes ago, and I certainly do appreciate that as well. Right before we do that break, I'm going to play a clip for you from a video series that's on the Superchat channel right now. There's 6 episodes of this, where it's an interview-style conversation with some friends of ours, channels that have been with us for years, channels that have all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. So one of the questions that's going to come up, especially when we've got a channel that's just grown, I mean, you guys have content getting into like well over 200,000 views, and people are always going to want to know how they can get more views on their video shorts and streams. So what can you tell us in your experience that you would give somebody as advice now?
I'm going to go first.
Yeah, you're a master at this one.
Don't be afraid to go back and change the thumbnails and the tags and the titles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to do that. It doesn't have to be the exact same as it was when you posted it. If you have a better idea for a title or a thumbnail or a description or anything like that, go ahead and try it. Because no matter how many times you change it, YouTube is going to pick something.
Yep.
And it might push it out more. More people might like maybe the colour scheme on it or the wording on it or something like that. And that'll help bring more people in. That's what I think anyway. Because we were afraid to do that for a long time. And then when we started doing that a little bit, we noticed a bit more growth.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. What do you think?
Well, a lot of what Danielle said is spot on. But the thing about it is, that's what's great about YouTube. You have that space to just go, you know, I didn't like that idea the first time it went up. Like, we've had thumbnails and we've had tags, we've had hashtags and stuff. We thought, oh, this is gonna go, it's gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And no, it just went straight into the toilet.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because the beautiful part is you can go back, you can change it over, you can go, I'll experiment with this. Sometimes it could be, now this is what is crazy about YouTube. Could be a tag changed.
Yeah.
It could be the title. Like, as much as people go, it's the thumbnail, like the title does play a major part. Because like, if you turn around, let's say a plane flying in the sky, or you turn around and say a plane does a nosedive and then lands perfectly, what sounds better? Maybe that might work for some people, but see the way the two titles, like, oh, I can just look at a plane, or oh, what's going to happen here?
Right.
I don't know why I used the plane, but that's just where I went for it.
Yeah, but you're absolutely
just the
right.
Contrast of like titles and tags,
It does make a difference.
It does. It's like, from our experience anyway, it has. Like, we went back and sometimes we just changed the thumbnail, and that did make a big difference. Like, there, what thumbnail we doing on? We done it on one of the military videos, and we done it actually the Star Spangled Banner video. Okay. We had the original thumbnail for that. We thought was the best thing we ever made. Got rid of it. See, this is what happens. Like, a month later, we're like, wow, this is the worst thing we could have ever put up. And I know people are probably going, no, it's really good, but this is what happens in your own head. You're like, wow, this is like not great. But we changed it to that one, and we love that one, and probably next month we'll change it again. But don't be afraid to change around your content and really experiment with what's out there.
That's great advice. So right before we do the break that I said we were going to do, I'm going to show you something I usually don't talk enough about. And forgive the self-promotion, but this is the best channel for me to show this on. There's a difference between your top 10 videos of all time, let's just say, and the top 10 videos that are moving right now. So most of my strategies for myself or other channels that I've run are around leaving the ones that are not broken. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So whatever the top 10 videos are that are moving, leave those the way they are. I'm not saying, I don't want to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do. This is what I do for myself. It has worked well for me. But you see how some of the view counts on these videos right now. I got a short that's doing 4,200 a month, which I'm kind of amazed at, but it's a informative one. I reviewed a television, which is the next best performing video for me right now, and I did a short showing people how to put the YouTube on their Roku home screen in that short. So it just, because it's helpful, it still continues to go. But these are some of the videos. Some of them are older, but these are the videos that are moving for me right this second. Very different from if we look at the top 10 performing videos of all time. So if I click on most popular, now you start to see these. This one doesn't get views very much anymore because it's a tablet that's about 5 years old, maybe older, right? Some of these we saw, some of these we didn't. So what I would do now is I would take something like this tablet, like it's lived its life, that video. But something like, I don't know if I can find an example here. Something like this hotel review, right? I could probably try changing the title up a little bit. I could probably change the thing. This Twitter video is a little bit older. Something like the Sega Genesis video here. It's one of those mini video game consoles. I could do a better job with that thumbnail, do some A/B testing with it and the titles and this and that, and maybe get some extra exposure out of those. So the big point behind what I want to say is a lot of times I speak very fast, and sometimes I'm sure it can be a little bit confusing. So I'm sure I can contradict myself as much as anybody, but sometimes I might do it indirectly or unintentionally and say something like leave the top 10 videos alone. What I mean is your top 10 performing videos right now. I hope everybody's reading the analytics at least as much as you can stand, but you'll notice that your top 10 or top 20 performing videos change over time. So, you know, something that you put out recently might do better than something a little bit older, but you also might have some evergreen content, like we talk about Just Jason Keto having a barbecue, and his barbecue videos pick up, just like my flight lesson videos pick up, because those rely on climate, right? When North America enters, or the Northern Hemisphere enters the summer months, those videos start to pick up because those are where our biggest audiences are, if that makes any sense. So I know it's a lot to take all in one quick conversation, but I just wanted to show that to everybody because I don't know if I've showed it before at all, but it's something I don't talk enough about. So let's go for 3.5 minutes and we'll come right back. And then thank you, Adventures with Jay Videos. So we're just about back, and you'll notice I put something in the chat there because the house smells like baking right now, and I couldn't believe it, because Kristen is somebody who, if the mood just strikes her, she's just like, I'm going to go spend 2 hours in the kitchen baking something. And I'm kind of amazed because I don't enjoy my time in the kitchen like she does. But she bakes all kinds of stuff. Last summer, she went on this like baking spree, and we had all kinds of stuff all over the house all the time. Not keto based at all. The opposite. But I thought it would be fun to give everybody a moment to see if you can figure out what Kristen would be baking at what for us is 7 o'clock at night after dinner. And we'll see if anybody can figure that out. Jesse Journals and Unboxes is here, another beloved and dedicated moderator. Chaka YouTube, good to have you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I say that a million times. And thank you, Covaction. Oh, they're getting clips together for their Monday live stream. We'll be raiding into a special anniversary-ish type live stream celebration for them on Monday. And I had the pleasure, actually, I got my stickers right in front of me here, my Covaction travel stickers, because I met up with Chuck and Lori from Syracuse last week when they were here in or close to Niagara Falls. We went out and enjoyed a meal, and they told me the story of how they originally got together, and I was so excited. I said I hope they'll repeat that on the live stream, so everybody has a treat to look forward to. I'll leave that poll running for another couple of seconds. I promise you, everything smells like sugary goodness right now in our apartment. So we'll see if everybody can figure out what she would bake at this time of day. And then Not Your Average Woodworks is up on the screen right now. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. Oh, I'm lucky, all right. One thing is I can tell you Kristen can cook and bake. My best compliment, I think, the best way I can describe it is that everything she makes tastes like it comes from a restaurant, you know, like quality, whether it's a simple meal or whether it's some kind of a baked treat. Yeah, Tim Mitchell, I might be. Foodies Travel in Casino Life. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. I'm assuming that is not Foodies Adventures that we know already, right? And then just please let me know if it is. Not Your Average Woodworks is up on the screen, and this creator gifted 5 memberships a little while ago. While we were on that break, Tim Mitchell gifted another 5 memberships, so we're going to look at his channels in another moment here. It's an incredibly generous thing to have done, and I certainly do appreciate it. I know the recipients will be happy to have had those. So then, thank you. Foodies Adventures, right? What am I saying? Foodies Travel and Casino Life. Yeah, I don't know if this is a second channel or if they just changed the name, but we'll find out in another few minutes. And then Lisa J. Stocks is in the house. Thank you for coming in. Oh, you have a casino channel as well. I didn't realize you had 2 up until right now. If I knew that, I forgot. I don't mean to. But she's been a longtime friend, as a matter of fact. Most of you have probably seen her out supporting other people all the time. Not Your Average Woodworks. Let's have a look. This is a channel I'm just getting to know. I mentioned it earlier. We got a few new woodworking friends over the last couple of months. Started with Van Lot, if I remember correctly. And they keep sending friends over between them. I certainly do appreciate it. So, Not Not Your Average Woodworks is giving us some information on their About section. They're learning woodworking the hard way, and taking us along for the ride. So I'm just going to grab one of the latest videos. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That's that fun playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. They got shorts over here as well. These have gotten into 1,000 views, even 1,600 on one of them, which is great to know. And then live streams as well. So up to about a month ago, they did quite a few live streams. If they're going to continue, hopefully I'll catch you soon enough. I got notification bells on for every single channel, of course. That's always in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. And then Not Your Average Woodworks, thank you again for those gifted memberships. Absolutely unnecessary. I certainly do appreciate it. And like I said, the recipients will be happy to have those, I'm sure. I know that Aaron the Carnivorish Guy just dropped a gifted membership as well. So we'll be looking at their channel in another few minutes here. And Tim Mitchell gifted a handful of memberships again, which he's done more than a handful of times, more than dozens of times it's becoming, and could be 100 times by now, or pretty close to it. So I certainly do appreciate that. And we're going to look at Tim Mitchell's channels in a second. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. You guys are going to make me stop the stream now and go and find a special emoji to celebrate today's nonsense in the chat. But I literally thought everybody here knew me well enough, but apparently not. Birthday cake is my favorite thing. I don't even know what I would choose between birthday cake and pizza if it had to be a choice between the two. But I am literally, if I am at any kind of an event, function, anything at all, and I see somebody walk by with a box that looks like cake, I have to know where it's going. I follow it and I become obsessed immediately. Birthday cake, my dear goodness. Sometimes I'm in the mood for cake. Sometimes I bought somebody a cake because they got a bad haircut one day. And I said we needed to celebrate because there's always an excuse to celebrate with cake. And then, pizza I talk about often. And lasagna, I just made an emoji for lasagna because of that. Because for whatever reason, I like to add nonsense into Tuber Chat instead of productive things while we're doing these live streams. But yeah, cake seems to be a weakness for me. But Kristen, out of nowhere, had hankering for cake, apparently. She walked in the room and she said, oh, guess what I feel like? I'm like, well, let's see. And she had cake in one hand and icing in the other. So after Tuber Chat today, there's going to be a treat waiting for me right before bed, which is perfect, right? I know all our friends who are into keto and GLP-1 and everything else are probably shaking their head saying, Kevin, please don't make those bad decisions. But it probably will for one more day. And then Tim Mitchell's up on the screen right now, and he's got a few channels for us to look at. So, what we're looking at is Aaron the Carnivorish Guy in a moment. So Magic Fabric Magician also dropped a super chat. And we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen. As soon as those things happen, we'll get back to the spinning the wheel right after. So Tim Mitchell actually produces videos and live streams for a couple of other channels, which I'll show you in a moment. But I think it was probably somewhat unexpectedly, just by the way that, the I don't know, aura I get from Tim Mitchell through, YouTube and this and that. I don't think they were expecting to build a channel up to getting close to 500 subscribers already with the work they're doing on the other channels. Some outdoor footage here. He does well with dash cam footage as well. Some of that comes from live streams, which he does every Tuesday. But you see some of these shorts now have gotten into 1,500, 1,600, even 1,900 views. And then live streams on the channel as well. Now, I was lucky to catch the last couple which is rare for me because it's right usually in my work day. And the earliest part of the week is when I usually have the biggest days. Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty much 7, 8, maybe 9-hour days. And then as the week continues on, it shuffles around a little bit. But I was lucky enough to have an early day on Tuesday and caught Tim Mitchell. And typically he does these once per week. So see, his channel's a complete accident is basically what he said. But he's so supportive to other people. And I think that draws in some of the support coming back to him. That's my guess, but you know, we can always ask him during one of these live streams as well. So the other two channels that we see with Tim Mitchell all the time are Chef Civvy, which is Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official, and a complimentary channel, which I'll look at in another moment here. So Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official is where Chef Civvy is going to bring us into the kitchen and make some interesting meals, dishes, combinations, and do some cook-alongs with other creators. We talked about that for a quick second with Butler Family Farm and Devil Dog. They get together once a month and actually make a sugar-free dessert or treat. As much as I'm talking about baking here, I call it a cook-along, but I could just as well call it a bake-along. They've gotten into cake and pie and cinnamon rolls, and I forget what they're doing in the upcoming one. What was the upcoming one again? Did I just see it? Let's go over to the live stream page. Yeah, they've got Little Debbie oatmeal pie type cookies coming up, and then they've got smoked carnitas. I don't even know what carnitas are. Into lasagna, though. Lasagna's my other favorite, obviously. But we'll see. And one of these videos is coming up on Sunday. So the cook along or bake along with Jerry and Susan and Devil Dog are going to be this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then typically they're on every Sunday night at 9 p.m. So this one's actually a different day. This one is going to be on Wednesday. Am I right about that? I think so. They might have another series happening now because they've been doing some second weekly live streams lately. And there's Chef Civvy right there in the chat as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official. I'll show you something else interesting on this channel. We love colorful wheels on Superchat, and you're going to find one on their channel. So they've got shorts over here that have gotten into 1,800, 2,700 views. But see this colorful, vibrant wheel that they have here? Basically what happens in the live streams that happen on Sunday, they're called the Mystery Wheel of Misfortune. So they got a few series here, actually. But if you catch them for those Sunday night live streams, basically what happens is the audience is able to contribute ingredients for the Mystery Wheel of Misfortune. Chef Civvy is going to spin and essentially be all but forced to make whatever combination comes up. So you can imagine that gets a little bit obscure. And then they've got another channel here where we talk about a complimentary channel for Chef Civvy, the unofficial, official off-topic squirrel. Now, Tim Mitchell's doing the live streams here, right, like producing them, with a multi-cam setup. They got 4 cameras, if you can imagine. And then I think he said they're using EV Mux, as a matter of fact, instead of OBS or Streamlabs or anything like that. And then, oh yeah, no, I haven't spun the wheel yet, though, Covaction. It's on there because when I type names, it'll change up. Yeah, I haven't spun yet. I spun once earlier, but we got a couple more channels we're going through, and then I'll be spinning soon. We're going to look at Aaron the Carnivorish Guy in a moment. Soul Magic Fabric Magician after that. I see Golden Muscle Prospects is in the house. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I've been talking quite a bit. There you go. Big Sugar Free Show Sunday. See, I should be calling it that. That's a good way to put that. A sugar-free show on Sunday is basically the idea. They do that once a month. So the unofficial, official off-topic squirrel is basically a complimentary channel where Chef Civi may bring us back into the kitchen, but usually is giving us stories to be told or taking us on some kind of another adventure. We get an idea from some of the variety in the shorts here, getting into 1,200 and 1,500 views. And then live streams here happen on the last Friday of every month now, and they're playing Cards Against Humanity, but the audience is able to contribute answers or contributions of sorts. It's hard to describe because it's not exactly question and answers. For anybody who hasn't seen that game yet, I've played it in real life more than once actually, so I know how wild it can get. Once the audience gets involved, it goes even farther. So thank you again to Mitchell and Chef Civi. They gifted 5 memberships again. They've done that so many times I wouldn't be able to count. As a matter of fact, it's overly generous, but certainly appreciated. I know the recipients will be happy to have those as well. And then the Carnivore Guy gifted a membership as well. And we're going to be looking at their channel in a quick second here. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Lasagna with 0 pasta, says the Carnivorish Guy. I didn't realize this must be the first time we've got their channel on the screen. They've been with us a few times now, but this is a channel I'm going to have to get to know. So a perfect video for me to start with. I'm just going to grab this lasagna video. I like to watch videos that are much longer than 3 minutes when I watch the first piece of content on any channel, typically something around 10 minutes. But when we talk about the things we do in our descriptions here, or when you hear me talk about 3-minute videos and things like that, I'm always talking about the minimum that we know works perfectly. So if I'm in your, this goes for everybody, if I'm in your Premiere or live stream chat, or if you see me anywhere else and somebody else wants to connect, then I do it exactly the way that we talk about here. I open another window because I'm always on a computer. I go to their channel right away. I do not wait. I go while the live stream's still running, let's say, and pick a 3-minute video, something longer than 3 minutes. I watch the full video, leave a comment, give the thumbs up, put the notification bell on while I subscribe, and come back over to the live stream chat. And I usually have about 4 windows open, usually at least one playlist and a few live streams or premieres at a time. But when we connect here in Tuber Chat, I try to watch videos that are even longer. One of the things I like about putting channels on the screen here is that over time I get to know the content and the channels, and then over weeks and months I get to know the creators and kind of a better idea of the content they're making. 2,000 views each on a couple of these shorts, which is great to see, and then live streams on the channel as well. So I don't watch videos or subscribe while I live stream, but what I meant to do was take that video, the lasagna video, and put that in my watch later list. So what that will allow me to do is after the live stream today, I'll go through my watch later list and I'll watch that video in full. I'll leave a meaningful, genuine comment related to the content of that video. I'll give that thumbs up, subscribe, and put the notification bell on, and that should make our connection stick. And then hopefully the Carnivorish Guy has our notification bell on as well. I'm sure that they do because they've been here at least 3 times before. And then they won't miss our further live streams. We're usually here every 3 days or so. We mix up the days and times so that we can meet different creators from around the world in different time zones, including next weekend. I think I set up the next few live streams today. So we're going to plan a couple that will be a little bit earlier in the day. Some of our friends in the UK and other places will be able to catch us. So I try to put them out in advance. I try not to move them once they're set. But the next few should all be as described if you look at our homepage. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Now, the message is already gone because I've been talking so much, but Soul Magic Fabric Magician dropped a super chat and left a message thanking me for having shared one of their videos on the community page earlier this week. So I'll just show you what that kind of looks like if you haven't seen it. Let me switch accounts here. All my crypto stuff is there. When we look at the Tuber Chat community post page, you will see that I typically share very frequently. I wouldn't recommend anybody pound the ever living daylights out of your community page the way I do. But I can tell you it's the number one thing I've been thanked for over the last 6 years or longer on YouTube, sharing for other people. So it's not just members, it's not just moderators, it's not just super chatters. I've got a bit of a system where I keep track of everything so that, you know, we kind of mix up the love and spread it around, let's just say. But like Nicole and Jay, Sweet Candy, Time Handicap Traveler will all be shared after Tuber Chat today. Overnight, Wheats Art and Adventures with Jay videos, and then tomorrow morning, Yoli Motivates, My Quiet Corner Carol. And I set these in advance all the time. Soul Magic Fabric Magician had one go out probably yesterday or earlier this morning. Forgive me for not remembering because I fire them off pretty quickly. But takes me, I think, 15 minutes to do 10 or 12 shares, and then of course we share our live stream out when it comes, and once in a while I share something from one of the YouTube channels that I think everybody should be following. If you haven't seen it, there are 2 of them. One of them is YouTube Creators, it's called, you'll know because it's got millions of subscribers, and the other one is called Creator Insiders. And these are where YouTube puts out videos describing new features that have come out, or explanations for things they get a lot of questions about. So they can be informative. Usually once a week or so I share one of those. The Fabric Magician, though, this is Annette. We're going to talk about her content in a second. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then just for the sake of saying, because I know we got a few new channels over the last couple of streams, we always have brand new people, but sometimes it's a little more than others, right? Almost every single stream we've ever had has probably had at least one, if not more, brand new creators come in. When we talk about the silly things we say in the chat, it's because you are not allowed on YouTube. It's against the terms of service or community guidelines to subscribe to somebody just because they subscribe to you. YouTube does not want that to happen. Most of the platforms, even Instagram and I believe TikTok and things like that, definitely don't want that. You can get in trouble for that or have your channel banned or shadow banned and all those different things. We don't want that, right? So here in this particular community, while I might often call it a grow stream because it's the easiest way to describe these kinds of streams, we're really focused on friendships here, right? The idea is if you could have 100 true friends on YouTube, then wouldn't that be wonderful? And I'm not talking about subscribers. I'm talking about people who care about your content, care about your success, cheer you on, want you to do well, support you in the truest sense of the word. Wouldn't it be wonderful if at some point you get your videos coming out with their first 100 views in the first 24 hours, right? That's a great place to be, and eventually everybody gets there. So this is the idea. When we talk in the chat, we say, I visited your house and left you a package. Basically, that means somebody's visited your channel, watched a full video, at least 3 minutes long all the way through, left the thumbs up, and a lengthy, meaningful comment. I recommend 3 or 4 sentences, but that's what the package is, right? Your house is your channel. And people say other things too. Sometimes people find funny things to say, like, we're going to dance together, we're going to bake together, I just baked with you, I just danced with you, I just, all these different things. But that's what it all means. So very important that when you get to somebody's channel, you're watching a full video of 3 minutes or longer. The other most important thing is that you got to check your comments after, including the hidden comments. If YouTube has put them in your, we could almost call it spam, right? Make sure you don't miss anybody that's connected with you. People get really upset if they subscribe to you and you don't subscribe back. They get very mad. I have seen people literally lose it on YouTube, on their channels, over that kind of thing. And, you know, we don't wish that. Most people are going to connect the right way. Most people have the right intention. But not everybody is going to do everything perfectly all of the time. We have to know that and expect that. You'll notice our moderators do not just jump on every single channel that come in. They will say hello to everyone. They'll start conversations. But I believe many of them wait at least days, if not weeks, maybe even months before connecting with somebody, because they want to see how everybody's interacting in the chat. Are you even going to be here next week or the week after and things like that? Are you even interested in what we're doing before they want to connect? Because we're all looking for the most loyal, the most dedicated supporters, right? That's the difference, I would say, here compared to any other stream of its kind. There's lots of good ones out there, but you know what I mean. Day One Walks, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. The Cam Fam TX, thank you for being in the house as well. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Boy, do my speeches get long, right? The Fabric Magician, Annette. This creator dropped a super chat earlier. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. She's done it a million times already. Annette is another dynamic creator, always smiling, always laughing. I've been lucky enough to catch her for live stream. She does a great job keeping up with the chat as well. She's going to talk about rescued fabric more than anything else, and some happy mail, I believe, as well. And then she's going to bring us videos that include the fiber arts or fiber crafts, if I am not mistaken about the way I'm describing those, but both for beginners and experienced creators, you know, using whether it's sewing or the other things they're going to do. So when we look at the shorts here, 1,000 views, 1,400 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. And she's got one coming up, as a matter of fact, in a few days. Monday, I think it is. Oh, yes, of course. Monday morning. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, she's on. Right smack in my work days, as a matter of fact. Almost impossible for me to get in there, but I will try to sneak in at some point. And once in a while, we actually get a lot of holidays in Canada. I think out of the 10 months of the year, or 12 months of the year, we have 10 that have, you know, statutory holiday or paid holiday for most people working in large companies. Like, I do a full-time job with a big company now, and they give us holidays. So in August we will have, I believe, 1 day off, and then when that happens, I'll be on YouTube catching as many things as I can, of course. Southern Belle Nola, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in, and hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Oh, Emotion New Soul is a talented singer, songwriter, producer, and performer. I'm going to get them onto the wheel right away. We always put members and moderators on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat, and then I'll start adding names as soon as we take the next break. We'll do that actually right this second. So I think I'm going to spin the wheel. I see Together We Travel coming in, and we'll see who's coming up right now. It looks like it's going to be Coker Culture. So what I'm going to do is we'll take this break for 3.5 minutes. We'll make this one a quick one. We'll come right back. We'll look at Coker Culture, and I will clean up the wheel quite a bit. I usually remove a lot of names when we go on to those breaks. Not every time, but often. And then members and moderators will be re-added to the wheel if you're still here. But the idea is to clean up the wheel a little bit so that we can get to as many channels that are active in the chat as possible over the next almost 2 hours, or just over 2 hours, or just under 2 hours. You know what I mean. Emotion to Soul, my dear goodness, Freddie, thank you. He's gifting 5 memberships. You know, there's it's funny that it's just coincidental that Emotion happens to be in the chat right this second, and it's not. It's typical that he does generous things like this. But I was actually just thinking about Freddie today, because there's been a couple of situations that I'm going to describe in a second that I think are important for everybody to realize and hear. C&J Play, good to see you in the house. Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to see you here. We'll do the break in another minute because I got another speech for everybody right now. But more than once in the history of Tuber Chat, I've been told by people that they've been, and forgive me because I don't want to exaggerate while I'm paraphrasing, but let's just say the most extreme version of the story would say that they've been on the fence about whether to continue on YouTube or not, the idea of motivation, feeling possibly discouraged, and things like that. And it just took a little bit of motivation and inspiration from seeing somebody say, hey, I like what you're doing. I think you're onto something. Keep going. Don't stop. And if I remember right, and forgive me because I don't mean to exaggerate, but this is a story that Emotion told to us during a live stream of their own several years ago. He's been with us for 5 years minimum. It could be getting closer to 6, as a matter of fact. And more than once, we've heard stories like this. And I love the idea, personally, that maybe I could inspire anybody to keep going when they're questionable, because I promise you, we all have, that second of questioning whether or not we're onto the right thing, whether or not we've made the right choice, if we should be doing something else. And I know there are other people here who are inspiring others as well, in ways that I'm probably never going to hear about. Like, even as the host of Tuber Chat, of course, I can't hear every story that goes on in our community or any other community. I'm lucky enough to see much of what goes on and hear much of what goes on. But the idea is that we all have the ability to inspire others. We're seeing channels grow faster than ever before, and every single person in this chat today probably remembers what it was like to start their channel with 0. You might even remember putting your email address in, setting your password, starting your channel for the very first day, and getting videos with the first 5 views, the first 10 views, remembering what that's like, remembering the feelings that you had, wondering whether you were putting out videos that were the right kind of things for you, that people were going to want to watch. And all of us have the ability to inspire others. For every person here, if you just keep at it, if you get to the point that you get even 2,000 subscribers, it might even start before that. Other people are going to ask you, how did you do it? Can you help them? And they're going to start asking your opinion on their work. So I know everybody here can be motivating and inspiring to others, and I hope that we all are. Because it's not the same for everybody. I was lucky enough to have been in social media for many years. So when I started, I figured I'd be doing this for years. I usually do things for years at a time and see how I feel about it. And that was the intention. So now I'm 9 years in. But I know that motivation and inspiration can be helpful. We can't just do it for ourselves. It's wonderful that we have communities like this. And the thing is, it's funny, Tim Mitchell says, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Probably one of my biggest character flaws, I would say, is always living for tomorrow and not enjoying enough of today. When I look back at the regrets, let's say, that I have over a lifetime, it's over not spending enough time in the moment. Always thinking about, we could do it next year. We'll take a vacation some other time. We'll, wait until next year when things are better, when things are, more assured and all that kind of thing. But tomorrow comes quickly, so hopefully everybody's enjoying the YouTube journey. Not just the goals, not just the milestones, but getting there. You know what I mean? It's wonderful if all of us get 100,000 subscribers or 1 million someday, but I hope you enjoy the ride all the way along, because I promise you those are the things you're going to remember when you hit the big milestones that you're looking for. Nesha Antoinette, good to see you here. Sean the Great Gamer, good to have you here as well. I think I saw Travel Around Susie in the house. Greenland Quilter Katie is back in the chat. Thank you for coming in. She was live earlier. And she dropped a super chat before we even started. So we looked at Crafty Witch 232 and and pardon me, Greenland Quilter Katie, Covaction's making me laugh. I love Fleetwood Mac to this day. I know that they have like one of the biggest selling albums of all time, and they had that TikTok thing with the ocean spray a few years ago. But Fleetwood Mac, yes, don't stop thinking about tomorrow, right? And thank you, Emotion New Soul. Again, I don't want to exaggerate the story. You know, I'm telling somebody else's story. But I was thinking about that today because it's been more than once that I've heard that kind of thing. And I figure if I can have any kind of influence on anybody, then I think anybody here who thinks the same way and has generosity at the forefront of their mind can do the same for others. I know that Emotion New Soul will probably forever after inspire anybody else who comes to him and questions whether or not they're on to what they should be doing, you know, because of that story. So it's wonderful, heartwarming in my opinion. And yeah, Emotion New Soul has been a dear friend for a very long time. I say it about all of our moderators. You know, some are here all the time, some are here occasionally. Many have been with us for many years, and Emotion New Soul is one of those friends who's been overly generous, loyal, and dedicated as a supporter and a friend to all of us. And then, thank you, Greenland Quilter Katie. Cruz Bolero's in the house. Yes, Sean the Great Gamer is friendly and cheerful for sure. Has been for years, as a matter of fact. And that's great. Yeah, Masciano. It's one of the most fun things I think about YouTube. You know, I believe I'm not going to go on too long about this, but I believe all of us will be changed forever after because of our YouTube experience, right? Some of us will be here forever after on YouTube or as long as it lasts, right? But no matter what, I think once you get to the point you have even 100 subscribers, your mind is already looking at the world in a different way because we realize we can reach people literally around the globe and in different languages. YouTube gives us tools for this now. I just watched another video from another influencer about auto dubbing, how it can be somewhat helpful, let's just say. It depends on your channel. You have to make the right decision. But either way, you know, we're able to show different people in the world, different things that we're doing here. And I'm sure we all take interest in things people are doing around the world in places we haven't seen, if that makes any sense. So, the Fabric Magician Annette, thank you again for your super chat. We are going to look at Emotion New Soul as soon as we get back. We're going to go for 3.5 minutes. I did say we're going to make this a quick break, and I will clean up the wheel while we're gone. Alright, we are just about back, and I've got Simply Debbie Sue on the wheel now. I cleaned up a lot of names. I added a few more. Any of our members or moderators still listening or watching will be re-added if I took your name off, and we'll get to as many channels as we can in the next hour and a half or so, as we always do. I see Hot Damaline's Crafting is in the house, and PK Adventure Travels came in as well. So what we're looking at right now, I was talking about this creator right before the break, but Emotion New Soul, this is Freddie. He is a talented singer, songwriter, producer, and performer. And as a matter of fact, you're going to find all of those things on his 2 channels. So Emotion New Soul is where he brings his original works more than anything else. So I see he's got a couple more videos. I'm just going to grab the one he put out a couple of days ago. He's got actually an instrumental version of his latest video, so I'm going to put them both in my catch-up list to hear them both. That's actually a great idea. I don't know why I never, I worked in music for like 35 years or something, and I never thought about the idea of saying to a couple of our friends who do this kind of thing, hey, why don't you also put out instrumental versions of all of your songs? So great idea that you've got that there. He typically makes interesting music videos for his original works. Once in a while you see him break open the Logic setup and show us his thought process and how he's producing the music, but he actually does that on another channel, and I'll show that to you in a moment. Otherwise, he might do some reactions, and then when you dig through the shorts, you get a small bit of variety here. I'm going to put these up and see what the popular views are: 1,600, 1,800, 2,000 views, and live streams on the channel as well. So he's got one coming up on Sunday. We can look forward to that at 3 p.m. Going to be a busy time. There's quite a bit going on YouTube. But this creator typically brings us compilations, sometimes where he's performing live, as a matter of fact, several of his tracks. So it's kind of cool to have a talented singer, songwriter, producer, and performer actually singing and playing their own original works while keeping up with the chat at the same time. And we've seen this for many years with Emotion New Soul. So I'm just going to show you his other channel. It's called Writing with Emotion New Soul, and this is where he shows us his writing process, and you'll recognize right away again when I show you the Logic setup here in one of his thumbnails, but there's plenty of them here. And then he might do reaction videos listening to other creators' music. I'm just going to grab the latest video from this as well. I know it's an instrumental of what I believe is the same song, but this creator as well might do some other reactions, and then they show us their thought process, like I said, how they're producing, how they're getting the music together. And then they've got shorts over here. Now they've got up to 913 views, and a new one that's gotten into 1,100 views. I think that's a new one. I don't recognize the thumbnail, and I remember this being the best performing one the last time this channel was on the screen. So Writing with Emotion New Soul is working on 800 subscribers on this complimentary channel, and again, he could be showing us his thought process, showing us how he's producing music, or he might do a compilation or a live performance on this channel as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Emotion New Soul. Like I said, an incredibly generous, loyal, dedicated supporter. He's been a moderator with us for as long as I can remember, but it's getting on like 6 years now, I think, 5 or 6 years. And he gifted 5 memberships, so we put that channel up right away. We always put Superchatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and it's time to spin the wheel again. Wheat's art is making me laugh. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. And then thank you, Mashiana. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. And then Yeah, wheat's art. You know what's the you know what I wish I could show you? If you look this up, I'll bet you there's probably many people around the world who do this. But in one of the towns that I worked in for many years, I used to DJ at this bar. I've actually got a couple of live streams on my personal channel where I was brought back for special events at this place to DJ, let's say. But they have live bands there or live performances all the time, and they used to have this guy who's a one-man band. And if you've never seen one of these types of performers before, I promise you it's worth looking up and watching, or certainly going to see, because that takes a lot of talent. If you ever did the thing when you were a kid, remember in kindergarten they teach us to rub our belly and pat our head at the same time? So not the easiest thing in the world to do, let alone when you've got cymbals and drums and a keyboard and who knows what else with you. But watching a one-man band, especially playing some of the newest stuff, is pretty entertaining, so I hope everybody will check that out. But Wheat's Art is bringing back a memory for me there. Travel Around Susie is up on the screen right now. This is a channel I'm still getting to know, but they're monetized. There are lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They're working on 1,300 subscribers. When we read from their About section, they're doing van life on their channel and all things in between. They say they show us how thinking outside the box can help us to enjoy life more. So similar, almost in theory, to what I was talking about, you know, living for tomorrow, but you need to spend some time living for today as well. Not completely, we have to be responsible, but you know what I mean. I think everybody could use a little more fun. And Travel Around Susie has some members-only content, which is great to know because YouTube's really pushing that right now. But I'm going to grab your latest video and put that into that catch-up playlist that I keep talking about. It's a fun name for a playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. Playlists can be a great tool for that. And then there are shorts on this channel as well, featuring a bit of variety, but these have gotten into 2,000, 2,300, 2,400 views. I should really spend more time watching short videos. I watch some when they come up if it's something that I expect, like that I want to see when I'm looking at the homepage. I'm almost always on a computer. I should be flipping through these things on a phone once in a while. Short videos, like because I'm on a computer, it's my excuse for not watching as many as I wish that I would, just to stay on top of trends and things like that and see what everybody's creating. But it's great to see almost every creator, so many in the Tuber Chat family, are working on really all three things. Lots of live streamers here. And it's not surprising because these are live streams. This is where we connect, right? And there's no right or wrong in any content that anybody's making. Everybody's got to decide what's right for their own channel. But it is great to see so many shorts as well. And then Brian, have fun in nature, Brittany, is in the house. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. I've got you on the wheel. Vintage V is still in the house. Any of our members or moderators, if I took your name off the wheel, I'll get it right back on. Mike's Adventure Sparks is still here. My dear goodness, my copying and pasting is not what it once was, I guess. I'm going to spin the wheel. I learned something the other day. Some of you will remember me whining and complaining about not charging my mouse. So I use the Apple Magic Mouse or whatever came with my old desktop computer. The last Macintosh desktop that I had, I think, was 2017. Am I right about that? Something like that. So I'm still using the mouse from it. I have a new computer, or a newer computer. It's not new. And what I learned, being frustrated with why is my mouse not working the way it is, I keep these cans of compressed air on my desk so that I can constantly clean the mouse and clean the desk and things like that from dust and all. And then I found out when your mouse gets around 15% battery, it starts to not work perfectly. And I'm like, oh, that's what the problem probably was. So I try to remember once in a while to plug the thing in and leave it charging overnight, but I don't always remember. And especially now they're changing the plugs, right? This takes a lightning plug and everything else I have is USB-C finally. because I finally got a iPhone 17e the other day. You guys will laugh because when I put out the unboxing and review, it'll be a year old and you'll say, like, why are you even putting this out? But I'm going to do it anyway, I think. I filmed it, I just haven't edited it yet. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I say that a million times. Henry Leslie, Vermont, I hope I said hello. I know you've been here for a while. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. I'm better with the keyboard for that, because the keyboard you can plug in and use with it plugged in, right? So my keyboard's at 97%, Magic Mouse is at 85% right now. But we're in good shape for today. So Covaction Travel, this is Chuck and Lori, and I keep showing everybody my stickers because these I have right beside me on my desk now. But I met up with these creators just last week, and we were in Niagara-on-the-Lake, which is a town very close to Niagara Falls. It's the next town north, as a matter of fact. If I get this picture up, there we are. And we enjoyed a meal together. We're hanging out at one of the wineries here. Niagara Falls is the whole area is a wonderful place to live. And they visit frequently, as a matter of fact. So hopefully later in the year, we'll put together an official meetup where we can get a few creators together. And Covaction Travel is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships. When we get there, they have well over 5,000 subscribers, even when they first started coming in here, which hasn't been a year yet, but I think it's well over 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. So they take their video filming and editing extremely seriously. And I had the pleasure, that photo that I just showed you was actually taken with a drone. Chuck and Lori do a lot of drone work, but they also do vlogging in the truest sense of the word. So they're constantly thinking about camera angles, different devices. They've got stands and gimbals and all that stuff with them all the time. But they also let us know in their live streams how they think about how they're going to get all the footage that they need. Because when you're traveling, especially touring, you might have to think really, really fast. You're holding people up while you're waiting to get shots and things like that. Covaction Travel has got videos that come out fairly frequently from literally all over the world. They've been to very interesting places. And then shorts on the channel have gotten into 8,600, 12,000, 21,000 views. And then live streams. So they've done several of these now. They do them occasionally every month or two. They've got a special one coming up on Monday. I was lucky enough to have heard the story of how these two creators got together originally. And they promise to repeat that story on Monday and will raid into their live stream. So that's something to look forward to. And of course, they'll encourage everybody to connect the same way we do here. And then Brian, have fun in nature. Yeah, it was, the smoke went by here, and I can't tell the truth about whether the wind moves it, right? So I didn't feel like it was as strong today as it was yesterday or the day before. But it has been intense for sure. And I'm not really looking, but like I check Instagram and like let's say Facebook several times a day, really to clear the notifications and just see if there's anything urgent. But every time you pick up the phone, you know how you see like somebody's post, and somebody today from Chicago was saying, I don't even remember who, but said, Chicago, we got the worst air quality. And I'm like, no, there's something happening right now. And you can't blame anybody for not knowing. We can't all know every single thing that's going on. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know. I think it was Wednesday morning. I had to work in my day job an hour away from where I live. And when I got to the destination, my coworker said to me, he's like, what was the sky like in Niagara? And I said, I don't know. I got in the car and started driving. I didn't notice anything. He goes, well, look at all the smoke. This is coming from about 10 hours away. And yeah, hopefully everybody is as safe as they can be, and hopefully it's being taken care of the way that we wish that it would be. But it sure is affecting quite a lot of people in a lot of different areas. But it was intense for sure. There's Have Fun in Nature right there. And forgive me, Brian, I didn't have your channel on the wheel, but I've got it on there now. I love Kristen Walton is still in the chat, of course. And New Times, New Beginnings is still here. Wheat's Art, forgive me, I didn't have you on the wheel there for a few minutes, so I'm going to get you on there right now. I think it's time for me to spin, but we're going to look at a complimentary channel here. Live, Love, Laugh, Lori is a second channel that is set up here for complimentary content. So it's just gotten started, but they did do a Christmas series of videos. And then Chuck and Lori will get together here. We'll see if Lori's going to take the channel by the reins or if they're going to use it for complimentary content. But I hope everybody will connect because, again, wouldn't it be nice to put out content and have 100 subscribers on a channel when you're just getting it going, right? And then oh, Just Jason Keto. See, Just Jason Keto works in a similar way that I do. We have very different, like, full-time gigs, and he's been doing his a lot longer than I have. I've only been at mine for a year now. But we do service calls and installations of equipment and stuff like that. If I remember right, Jason works with more internet and connectivity, whereas I work in food safety. And things like that. But basically we're driving around to different locations all the time, anywhere that could be even hours away, and we get to see a lot of different things in that way. So Jason typically is a couple hours away from me, and I live in Niagara Falls, myself and Kristen Walton, of course. Jeremy D-Day, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. He's been a friend of about 7 years, as long as Ace Flaw 1, who I talked about earlier. And then Canadian Family Life is up now. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Oh, Jason's doing a lot more driving than me. Trying to imagine what I drive every day. I drive anywhere usually up to 2.5 hours away, including Toronto traffic, which is like known as horrific. But I'd say 200 kilometers at the most per day. Yeah, I'm only doing about 1,000 a week. Maybe 1,500, but nothing that high under most circumstances. Yeah. And then Canadian Family Life comes to us from New Brunswick. So some of my videos today have the red line all the way, not all the way across. I believe this is already in my catch-up list, but I have not seen it. I ran the catch-up list this time, so I'm going to have to rerun it, but it's okay. I'm going to go and watch all the videos from today as well. So, and then, no, Greenland Quilter Katie, the fires are, I believe, about 8 hours away. Or 10 hours away. Kristen might know better than me. Jason might, and Pete might know better than me. We're all in Ontario, but not anywhere close to Niagara Falls. It's just the smoke has blown this way, and for a couple of days it's been extreme smog warnings, and everything smells like wildfire. Let's say. Warmstrong Adventures, good to see you in the house. What was the milestone I just commented on today? Oh goodness, Bill has been a long time dear friend to us. Wonder if I can find it quickly. Was it? I don't want to make a mistake in what I'm going to say, because I saw a couple of these today. And then, see, I'm being silly here. Was it on your there it is, 1 million. Yes, 1 million views. Look at you won't be able to maybe see this. I don't know. I'll try anyway. You know those Facebook, I can't do it because of the green screen thing. You know those Facebook posts and things like that you can get from vidIQ and TubeBuddy, which is the one I use. They give you those milestone graphics, which are great. I use them myself all the time as well. But Warm Strong Adventures hit 1 million views on their channel, which is a wonderful milestone. I hope everybody's always celebrating all these milestones, because it gives your audience a chance to celebrate for you. We talk so much here about the idea of caring about each other's channels, each other's success. And, you know, when we truly do, then we can feel excitement for other creators and the milestones that they hit. So Warm Strong Adventures, you know, I always say the same thing, keep up the great work, but they do great work over there. Bill is incredible. He supports even while he's cruising, and he's been on over 75 cruises now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to say 80 pretty soon, but yeah, Bill generously shares information about that, as well as YouTube. He collaborates with people all the time, and no matter what he's doing, still finds time to support everybody as well. Greenland Quilter Katie hit 1 million views, which is great to see as well. And then mustard emoji. We're running out of ideas here. Pardon me, we're running out of ideas here. I'm screaming at the camera, I think, again. Oh, my dear goodness, not your average woodworks. What was I wish I could remember a joke that I had heard yesterday. Kristen is making, yes, Kristen Welton is baking a cake right now, so the whole apartment smells like birthday cake. Canadian Family Life, pardon me, up on the screen. This is Tiffany. She brings us a family channel, and that's in the truest sense of the word. This whole family gets involved in the channel. They're in New Brunswick. They do quite a few different things all together. I'm just going to grab the latest video. I'm going to put this in my catch-up list again. And Canadian Family Life brings food bank grocery hauls. Very frequently, they do a lot of cooking, a lot of baking. One of the interesting things that Tiffany's been doing lately is making some of the featured things we find in some of the biggest restaurants or chains, like this one from Tim Hortons, most people have heard of, from Canada, right? We're Canadian. And then, you know, she's done McDonald's chicken nuggets. I'm not sure if you've done another one. It doesn't come to mind. But tons of cooking, tons of baking, challenges between family members, crafting, some do-it-yourself videos from Tiffany's husband, Chris. Bella and Alex get involved in the channel. They do product reviews, sponsored videos now. They've got an impeccable container garden, which they work on and show us. I've always gone on about this because I don't know how somebody can have an indoor container garden and keep it so neat and tidy. I feel like it's impossible. Our family got like a Christmas tree one year that was a real tree, and it was my job to vacuum. I don't think I was the one who chose that I wanted a real tree, but the family got one, and then I had to vacuum for it, so I was whining and complaining. Oh, look at this. So thank you, my lovely accomplice, as I like to say. Kristen just brought the cake into the room right now, so I don't even have to wait until after Tuber Chat. So on the next break, I'm going to be able to take a bite of that. And then Canadian Family Life has shorts on their channel, again in New Brunswick. So they've got all that Canadian winter weather to share with us. All 4 seasons, of course. 3,200, 5,600, 35,000 views on... Oh, pardon me. Yes, 3,200, 5,600, and 35,000 views on one of these, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. And when we think about live streams, this creator is doing these about once every other month or so. So Tiffany will probably be due for one pretty soon, and she usually lets us know when she's got one coming up. Hopefully we'll maybe even arrange that we can raid in. And then Canadian Family Life is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. I mentioned Chris, her husband, earlier. He's got a channel. I'll leave it to you to find it, called Chris's Creation Fun. And he does do-it-yourself videos there. They're focused on this channel right now, so he's brought a couple of those do-it-yourself videos over here. But these are things we can find with Canadian Family Life. And then let's spin the wheel. We're going to get another channel onto the screen. I'm going to try to speed things up because I know I've been talking a bit again today. And Hot Damn Elaine's Crafting is coming up right now. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. I wonder, Hot Damn Elaine's Crafting, forgive me for not knowing how long ago you changed that avatar. But yeah, that makes me chuckle for a quick second. I like heartwarming stuff just as much as anybody else, but that's really cool. Mark the Shark, good to see you in the house. He always says much love and aloha. And Mark the Shark sent over a couple of hats. You know why I don't have the white hat with me right now? Because it's in my truck. Because I wear it when I live stream, especially lately. But Mark the Shark generously sent these over a while ago, so thank you. Yeah, we're the fires and things that people might have heard of are nowhere around where we are. Anybody that I can think of with YouTube channels that we might consider, like Pete, Jason, me and Kristen, and some of our other friends, Scott in Ottawa, and Brampton Gardner, who's close to Toronto, and things like that. Tiffany's out in New Brunswick, so much farther, although I'm unsure if anything's happening over there. But it's been something else here for sure. Mama Tato Heyday, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. I gotta stop screaming at the camera. I'm gonna lose my voice already. Hot Damn Elaine's Crafting. So let's have a look at what they're doing. I'm just gonna grab their latest video. They've been a long-time friend. Now, when we're looking at videos to connect with, we want to pick videos that are 3 minutes or longer. The latest one is just over 2 minutes, probably okay, but we just want to make sure we leave that meaningful, genuine comment on a video, not just friend from Tuberchat. Some of those will get, first of all, like hidden and people won't find them, but some creators will just delete it if we do that. They want real engagement from creators. So you want to watch the video, see what it's about, leave a comment about it, and I recommend 3 or 4 sentences when you're connecting with people. Hot Damn Elaine's Crafting, though, also has shorts on the channel. These have gotten into 4,400, 14,000 views on one, which is great to see. We haven't had this channel on the screen for a while. Hot Damn Elaine's Crafting, as well as doing dual live streams, so they're doing the vertical and the horizontal. We know that because YouTube automatically puts in the emoji for the phone when you do the vertical live streams, right? And this channel really shines with the live streams, especially Bingo. Bingo is something I catch from them frequently, so they got a really engaged audience. And we've seen many creators do this kind of thing in live streams. It can be really engaging and a lot of fun. So I caught her just last week, as a matter of fact. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one. She's going to do a different kind of live stream tomorrow, Saturday Chats. So we'll get a chance to hang out and probably do some Q&A and see what Hot Damn Elaine's Crafting is up to. And I'll look forward to that as well. I've got notifications on for both of them. We know it's happening at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and I should be able to catch that with no problem. So let's think about spinning the wheel, and we'll see who's next. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuberchat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then Hala is up on the screen. Thank you, Mama Tato Heyday. I'll tell you what, I'll leave it on there for now, and I'll go quickly when it comes. And that's great. Aaron, the carnivorous guy's already made a few friends this week. The truth is, everybody can probably make connections pretty quickly here. I've always said you could probably meet up to 8 or 10 people per hour, even doing it thoroughly with the whole thing I say about 3-minute videos, which is important. You know, you think about how long it takes to leave the chat, go to somebody else's channel, come back, let them know you've done that and everything. It could take 5 minutes, 6 minutes, you know, or even longer. And the most important thing is quality of connection, right? Because we're looking for friends here, not subscribers. It's your friends that are going to watch your videos. Your friends are going to leave the good comments for you. We always appreciate every comment. Some of our viewers are just going to say nice, or thumbs up, or great video, or thanks for the help, you know, and things like that. But it's our friends that are going to leave the 2 or 3 sentence comments that make us happy and make, you know, YouTube understand there's engagement there. So friendships are what we're after. These are people who'll be watching your videos years into the future. And then Holla is up here right now. This is a creator that comes from New York, and they are bringing us event-based content more than anything else. So they might take us behind the scenes to a parade or a performance or a show. Like I often say classic car shows, but the idea is like there's a lot of new cars done up in there as well. Look at this. New York's finest, bravest robotic dogs are out there now. I haven't seen enough of that. I'm going to watch that video because I just want to see what these things actually look like. And they bring us behind the scenes as well. They do this in live streams also, whether it's a parade or a performance. They've got all sorts of different things. They go to the beach pretty frequently, music performances here, soapbox racer derby idea in one of these live streams, and then they've got shorts on the channel as well. Most people will be able to pick off the makes and models of a lot of these beautiful cars better than me. I like looking at them. I just don't know them as well as everybody else. 3,100, 3,400, 6,000 views on one of these, which is great to see. And Holla is not only here in Tuber Chat, connecting with everybody just about every stream, and I don't expect that from anybody, but I do appreciate it. But they're out supporting people all the time. I run into them every day, and they've only been with us for Holla. Has it been 6 months or longer than that already? Let me see if I can figure this out. Oh, way less. Oh, is it? Yeah, let me look. Pardon me while I think out loud. Oh no, it's getting on almost a year already. So forgive me. Yeah, usually I get ahead of myself. Today I'm behind. But Holla, right away from finding us, I run into them just about every day, supporting other people as well. So I keep saying those things just to give everybody an idea of how supportive some of these creators are, so you can get some of that support coming back to you when you connect with them. And look at this, Holla. I thought it was just in our last live stream 3 days ago that this creator got their 1,000 subscribers, unless it was 2 streams ago, maybe it was a week ago. I thought it was just a few days ago, and they're already now with another 40 subscribers. So they are just rocking, which is great to see. Have Fun in Nature is coming up. What we're going to do, though, we'll take a break for 3.5 minutes, and then we'll come right back. Pete, I wish I had my mic on for you to hear me just about spit the cake all over the monitor when I read that. But you know it's true. And the funny thing is, you might wonder, I wonder if anybody thought to themselves, like, wow, this guy, like, loves YouTube, like, a little bit too much, right? Sometimes how much I talk about it and how I get so excited over it. But if you can imagine, right? So Kristen and I are already talking about YouTube. Like, I do have to go out, like, of the house to work at least Monday to Friday, right? So I'm gone for 8 hours a day or whatever it is, right? But then I come home, usually mid to late afternoon, and the talk starts right away, because it never stops with me, right? Pure chatterbox. And half of it's YouTube all the time. And after we're done today, the first thing I'm going to do is run in the other room, and I'm going to be like, oh, you see on Superchat this thing happened and that thing, you know, or whatever. And she still has to hear another earful of it. So whatever she has to hear tonight, we know she deserves, because she's not shy about the size of the piece of cake that she gave me either. So, and not shy or stingy with the icing either. So there's an idea. What we're looking at right now is Hardcore Hillbilly. This is Brian from Have Fun in Nature, and he's working on almost 100 subscribers already, which is great to see, just with a few shorts to get the channel going. But it'd be wonderful to have this channel up over 100 views if they're going to think about putting out content and give them a little bit of a head start. When we look at Have Fun in Nature, from Brian and Tiffany, we are going to see another dynamic creator here, Have Fun in Nature. If you haven't seen Tiffany for a live stream yet, you're going to find somebody who could talk just as much as I can, and just as passionately, as a matter of fact, that I've come to know of this channel. They bring us homesteading style content. Of course, they let us know that they enjoy the outdoors. They're going to share it with us. The other day I ran my catch-up list, or yesterday, and the red lines are not all the way across. I didn't leave myself enough time to watch this time, but I'm gonna go back through the whole catch-up list, so I'll get a chance to watch all these videos. That's why my red lines are not all the way across. We see some cooking videos as well. We talked about this the other day, my dear goodness, with compound butter. Why don't I know what that is? And filet mignon on a cast iron skillet, which is great to know. All classic video games as well. We did talk about this. Actually, I wonder if this video got into my head. Just the title of it, because I found myself, you know what I did the other day? I don't play a lot of video games, but I did for 2 seconds the other night hook up the Xbox, which I have sitting beside me. I got to finally, it took me forever to find my controller because I haven't used it in months. And I was playing 1942. You remember the classic, whatever, from one of those collections of classic video games. Have Fun in Nature, though, as well, has got shorts over here. These have gotten into 7,600, 8,700 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. They're live every Sunday as a minimum, but they've been doing pop-up live streams as well. I'm assuming these are pop-ups. So I caught them a few days ago, but we know that we can catch them on Sundays, typically at 4 p.m., which is a great time to know as well. Lots of creators are doing things this Sunday at 3 o'clock. We know that Jessie Journals and Unboxes drops her premiere every Sunday at 3 p.m. Michael's Adventures is typically on every day at 3 p.m., but he occasionally moves his premieres based on other people's content. So if it's on Sunday, he'll go at 2:30 so he can raid into Jessie. If it's, depending on when we move Tuber Chat around, sometimes he's before, but most often after. But like today, I moved the stream an hour later than we usually do. So we'll raid into Michael's Adventures in another hour from now, and his premiere will be ready to go. I haven't got the live redirect set, but I'll do that when we get closer to the video. And there you go. Yeah, 10 to drop videos, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. We all have to do the right thing for our channels. My Jason's got me stressed out in the chat now. I'm going to read his comment in a second. We all have to do the right thing for our channels. I typically, over the years, for any channels I run or touch, put out videos 9 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, or if I premiere them at noon on Saturday. And I did that just knowing that the weekend seems to be the highest amount of traffic for YouTube. Not that I'm right, but just, you know, I've been on social media for years and used to pay attention to a lot of that stuff, even more so than now. But everybody's channel, once you have enough activity, once your channel's grown to a certain size, and there's no real guideline for this, you'll know in the YouTube studio, they give you a graph that shows you when your people are on. So my suggestion, if you're going to drop a video, you drop it at the beginning of the busiest 2 days, not 1 day, but 2 days, right? And then if you're going to premiere, you drop it at the beginning of the busiest part of the busiest day, because you want the maximum number of people in the premiere, right? So these are just ideas. Jason, had a full size. Yes, had a full size stand-up arcade version of 1942. That stresses me out because I window shop for arcade cabinets all the time. Way too much. I still aspire. If I won the lottery tomorrow, it'd probably be a bad idea. But one of the things I would probably do is start a gaming lounge, including a lot of retro video games. Or a retro video game bar. There's a couple of those in Toronto. I bought a cocktail table, which I still have. It's like the bootleg one, but it's got like the 60 games in it. Pac-Man, Dig Dug, 1942 and all that. It's broken right now. I got to fix one of the switches, but it's one of the ones you sit at and two people can play. But yeah, I window shop for these things all the time. Jason and I, that's the backup plan. After when we're full-time on YouTube, we'll start an arcade to be our side hustle. That'll be the idea. There's people who still have arcades in a lot of places. I think they must be challenging to market, but yeah, I love video games as much as anybody. High speed pinball machine. Is high speed a particular one, or is that a type of pinball? I'm just used to whatever traditional ones are around. Well, yeah, Brian would love to make an arcade. I think too many of us like video games too much, I think. So it makes a bad idea sound like a good idea. But there's lots of people doing it. I've watched videos on my personal channel. Like when I'm watching stuff that is not... tuber chat stuff, I watch like crypto, I watch finance, I watch a small amount of politics, not because I'm obsessed, but because I just want to keep up with some of the stuff that goes on. Not that it's a good idea, but you know what I mean. But a lot of times YouTube really does recommend decent things. And I think because many years ago I bought that arcade machine and I put a couple of social media posts out. I used to have it in a restaurant and I put it in an ice cream shop for a while. Made a couple dollars, right? In Canada we have $1 and $2 coins. So I would charge like $1 a game or 3 games for $2. And it brought in a couple dollars. It hasn't paid for itself, but probably half, let's say. And because I put out those social media posts, now I see it on Facebook Marketplace. I see cars. I see vinyl records. That's another long-winded story. I see arcade machines. And then there's a scam that goes on YouTube or on Facebook Marketplace where what people do is they'll put up an article. It looks like women's clothing. And it'll be, you know, some tank top, tiny little thing for $5 or whatever, right? And I haven't looked at them, but it comes up. And I think that scam is because those are people who are actually on probably OnlyFans or other places trying to entice people to go and check them out, right? Because they want to meet the person who would wear that shirt or, you know, piece of clothing or whatever it is. Horrifying, some of the scams that go on. I just heard another one on Facebook a couple of days ago where somebody who I trust, who I know not well, but I know them well enough to know they don't lie, they don't make things up, but they put something on Facebook to warn people the other day. there's this thing going around where somebody might not meet you, but pass you by in a shopping mall or parking lot or anything like that and comment on perfume or say, hey, you should smell this perfume. It's really like great or something like that. And it, the rest of the scam is exactly pretty much what you expect. Arcade machines are not as much of a weakness. They're a weakness for me wasting time window shopping for them. That's it. But I don't play as much as I wish. Oh, High Speed was a specific game. Oh, 5 balls at a time. I was thinking about that, Jason, actually. I'm not as big a fan of pinball as a lot of people are, but I would someday love to have a pinball machine, right? If money was no object, that's on the bucket list. It's just not at the top, right? But a pinball machine would be wonderful. But I always like the ones with the extra levels or the extra flippers. And yeah, where you can play 3 balls at a time and stuff like that. I'd have to see... Jason remembers my speech about a podcast studio. Here, I'll give you, if we don't have time for this, but I'll give you the winning the lottery speech, right? If I win the lottery tomorrow. So most people would say I want to move to Florida and fall off bar stools for the rest of my life or buy a boat and sail around and stuff. I would start a company, right? A real one. And I always thought that I would run some kind of a software company. But eventually that turned into gaming when the younger members of my family, my son and my nephew, said they wanted to be game developers. But then one of the things that's still going on strong is gaming lounges. Not an internet cafe the way they used to put them, but like gaming because people can come and play together. And these are all over the place. All the major cities have them, right? So the idea is a triple level complex, because there are 3 different business ideas in one. But you have a gaming lounge that also has arcade games and pinball and the things you'd expect from a modern day arcade with a lot of retro stuff. And depending on how much you have, a triple level, because you have a recording studio like a podcast studio upstairs. That's a very serious business that I wish I could start today, because podcasting, all my friends in radio and I used to work in radio, so all my friends in radio and television, the ones who haven't yet lost their jobs, are losing their jobs right now. One of the biggest companies, just as far as I know, didn't even sell, just closed down stations. And my dear goodness, is that awful? I've been pretty much out for a long time and wasn't relying on it. My prayers for them. I hope they all have backup plans and everything else. But, and a bakery. Yes, Kristen should have a bakery for sure. The J. Jordan, thank you. Most of you know when I go into different premieres and live stream chats, I'm always sharing on Reddit, right? I've been doing that for a long time, just because I know that Reddit's a big website. Not everybody is familiar with it, but it's one of the world's most popular websites for people sharing information and things like that. And we can get a trickle of tiny amounts of traffic from there, so why not, right? And the J. Jordan shares on X for people as well. If you get a handful of friends who do this kind of thing all the time, imagine if you had somebody that always shares your stuff on Facebook, always shares your stuff on Reddit, always shares your stuff on either Instagram or Reddit, or I don't know if Stumble Upon and Dig are still a thing, but you know what I mean. Any of the old social networks, new stuff, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it, right? Vintage V wants to join Kristen in the kitchen. Yeah, Kristen could do a restaurant or a bakery, as a matter of fact. And then a Tuber Chat debrief podcast. My dear goodness, could you imagine? Everybody's here for 3 hours and they get to listen to me talk about what just happened for another hour, while Kristen tries to talk, and I take over 90% of the conversation because we know. And then, Wheats Art, I wonder if that's true. I know you're saying LOL, but I wonder if that's true. I wonder if they found Tuber Chat from Reddit, because it's possible. That's no joke. I was in the top 9% of people on the planet a few years ago for sharing on Reddit. I might hit that again this year. I'm not sure. Somewhere up there, though, because it's every stream, every premiere. It's just, that's habit now, right? Yeah, that's the problem. My voice would be destroyed. We have thought about doing StreamYard panels where we could get a few people together and talk a little more in depth about YouTube stuff, but I wouldn't be able to do it after Tuber Chat. Rushing Wind Mountain is up on the screen. This is Ruby. So I'm going to rifle through channels as quick as I can for the next 45 minutes. As a matter of fact, it's time to... Oh, I lost my window. I'm going to take care of something else in the background here. Rushing Wind Mountain comes to us from the Pacific Northwest, and Ruby is the creator behind this channel. They bring us a mix of video shorts and live streams that feature nature and wildlife. There are even humorous moments when we get to the shorts, but we'll look at those in a few minutes here. I'm just going to adjust our live stream for a second here. Boy, can I talk. I don't mean to do it too. You know, I promise you after every live stream, I say I got to stop talking so much, especially about myself. We got to get to more channels and less nonsense. And that's funny. Wheat's Art, yeah, might have come to us through Reddit. That's wonderful to know. But Wheat's Art has a lot of mutual friends, though. I've seen Wheat and Shaw's channel have other creators that I know that may or may not have been in the Tuber Chat community as well, because I have a personal channel and I've run other channels and things like that. Kind of cool. And then Rushing Wind Mountain up on the screen right now. Sorry, Ruby, I usually do what I think is a better job. But this creator's been with us for many years as well. It's going to be approaching 6 years pretty soon, if not already, because it's got to be 5 years by now. And this creator has another premiere coming up on Sunday, so we can look forward to that. That'll be right after Jessie. Actually, Jessie Journals and Unboxes will be on at 3. She'll be on at 3:30. There's another newer video for members only over there. I haven't seen the hummingbird video, but I'm going to put this on right now. I saw something today. I can't remember if it was on Twitter when I was doing the share for Tuber Chat. I forgot about Facebook today. Or if it was on Facebook or something else. My feed... I'm sure everybody's like this. It's like our music collections. We have a million different types of things in there that nobody would expect. But my feed is all like DJs because I used to work in music. It's things I window shop for, tools and cars and, ridiculous things and arcade games and everything else. And then it's like violence and nonsense and political, stuff that I keep saying not interested. And then puppies and kittens and stuff like that. And I saw a video today of a hummingbird. And what this person did is they took water and what they should was like sugar syrup or something. I don't know if it's true. They just said that. But they had this little, looked like a syringe, like a needle kind of thing. And they were feeding the hummingbird the water. And then the hummingbird took the water and brought it to the baby and fed the baby. And I don't know if the video was real or not, because I didn't take the time to notice whether it was real. But I was like, oh, that's so cute. Because those things seem to pass through my feed as well as everything else. Rushing Wind Mountain, though, I'm going to watch that hummingbird video. I haven't seen that yet. Jason, Just Jason Keto, puts out a hummingbird video once a year as well. When we look at Rushing Wind Mountain, though, you get an idea of the pleasing audio and visuals that they're bringing us with, like I said, a bit of wildlife and a lot of nature. They got plenty of hummingbird videos, actually. And then shorts on the channel. Now, if you dig through these, you're going to find the humorous moments when you find the wildlife. But many of these have done very well, getting into the tens of thousands of views. And then live streams on the channel as well. Ruby's done a mix of experimenting with both vertical and horizontal, or portrait and landscape live streams, and it's more of the same. Pleasing audio, pleasing visuals, primarily focused on nature, but also with a bit of wildlife as well. And there you go. Yeah, bluegrass to death metal. I think a long time ago it wasn't the same, because when we had to buy albums, whether it's CDs or tapes or records or whatever it was, like you're spending $20 at a time or $15 or $10 at a time or whatever it was. And, so you got to want something to buy it. Whereas now you can have Spotify, you can make playlists, and you can have swing music, you can have polka, you can have like all kinds of stuff. That was what the joke was. It said, I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around. And I saw that in a little note the other day for people who would enjoy those kinds of jokes and stuff like that. And I love the cheesiest of the cheesy jokes. Coincidence that finally crossed my mind for a second there. Mike's Adventure Sparks is up right now. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. And then Travel Around Susie is still with us. D-Lo Flow Show is in the house. Jason says the hummingbirds haven't been around yet, so he'll be ready for them when they get there. And then Sam the Record Man. I think the Sam the Record Man that they took the sign from on Yonge Street in Toronto is where I bought my first 2 albums. I was already buying records, like 12-inch singles and things like that, but I think the first 2 albums that I bought were Fat Boys and LL Cool J, if I remember correctly. And the only reason I remember that is because my cousin had visited. They used to live in Florida. And it was a special occasion because he's only ever been here a few times. And we went out doing a bunch of things. I don't know why we went to the record store, but probably because I was obsessed. And I think it was his suggestion, the ones that I got. Of course, he's a couple years older than me, so you know what teenagers are like. I want to impress my older cousin. But they were great choices either way, and I still have those records today. I still buy records today, as a matter of fact. I know we say we miss the music store. Urban Outfitters still sells vinyl records. They might sell tapes and CDs, but there's tons of record stores still around. The biggest of the big are there. I was lucky enough to have shopped at Vinyl Mania once in New York. If Hall is still here, they'll know what I'm talking about. Vinyl Mania was in the Village, and that's in 1996, so like forever ago. And then Mike's Adventure Sparks is up on the screen right now, bringing us, let's have a look at their About section so I get this right. Living one day at a time, doing a little of everything from camping in their truck, I say the same thing all the time, camping in their truck camper, or taking the boat out. Or maybe a little bit of hiking in Minnesota as well. They've got some winter weather they can share with us. They take us on the water. That's drone footage, which is cool to see. And then this is a channel I'm still getting to know, but I'm going to take another video here. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. We'll see what that meant. You can't park here. They might have had an altercation of some sort. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 3,600, 4,200 views. They've got quite a bit going on. Mum Potato Heyday, thank you for the pleasant thoughts. But actually, as far as I know, every Canadian in the house right now in this chat is far enough away from the wildfires that we might be experiencing a bit of the smoke for the last few days, but not close to the wildfires. I don't know if we have anybody up in the area, but to be honest with you, most people who know about what's going on know more than I do. I haven't been on the news. And not to mention I've been working. I really haven't left myself a moment. It's just excuses, but you know what I mean. Mike's Adventure Sparks has had hummingbirds around. Oh, roller skating? Yeah, just Jason Keto. I keep seeing these posts on Facebook that roller skating rinks are coming too. Like people are opening new ones. I only ever DJ'd at a roller skating rink, I think once, might have been twice, but once for sure. But it wasn't like, oh, you're playing all the roller skating songs. You're just playing whatever's popular at the time, because I used to be a DJ. That's why, for anybody that hasn't heard that a million times already, because I talk about it too much. The ice cream truck, it's in your background, not my background. I know those songs too well. Mike's Adventure Sparks has live streams here as well a week ago and actually just today. So hopefully I'll catch you for one of these. It's been a couple of weeks already. But this creator is also monetized and working on 1,500 subscribers, which is great to know. Boy, am I screaming at the camera. Let's spin the wheel. We'll see who's coming up. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. So Wheat's Art is coming up right now, and I'll show you both of their channels. Yeah, Mama Tato Heyday says the wildfires are frequent for them. And then when we look at Wheat's Art, let's see the kind of art that they're bringing to us. We get a really good look at this in the shorts on the channel. You get an idea of what the channel's about just from these alone. This creator's gotten into 3,000 views on one of them, but 9,400 views on another one, which is great to see. So they got videos they post fairly frequently. Again, my catch-up list from the other day, I'm not gonna rerun it. I'm gonna go through it and watch the video. I was gonna run it. Now my red lines are not all the way across, so I'm just going to go back and watch all the videos. There'll probably be about 60 in there by the time we're done with this live stream, but I'll get through it before we're back on Monday. Shorts, we looked at live streams on the channel as well. So Wheat's Art does plenty of live streams. I think for the most part chasing watch hours over here, but we get a chance to have a look at the art and connect with people while we're there. They're working on 1,500 subscribers on this channel now, and then they've got another one called Wheat and Shaw, and this is where we know them from originally. They started the art channel afterwards, but this one's working on 800 subscribers. We really never know what to expect over here, and you'll get that idea once you've been through a couple of videos or especially a live stream. They've got shorts over here as well. Once in a while they got a bit of that art. 5,100 views on a couple of these, which is great to see, and live streams here are a little more occasional, but they seem to be on at least a couple of times a week. So hopefully everybody will connect with both Wheat's Art and Wheat and Shaw, and we'll spin the wheel. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Thank you, Sarah Presswood. We know that Sarah Presswood's doing a live stream as well, so I'll try to catch that after Tuber Chat. We're gonna be on here for another half hour, and then Michael's Adventures has a premiere at 9 o'clock. But I'll try to get a couple of windows open and make it over there if I can. And then skating on thin ice, says Wheat's Art. Simply Debbie Sue is up on the screen, and this is a creator who I mentioned is extremely supportive, but I noticed something the last couple of times that I ran into them. I saw them in channels that are also not just very supportive, like loyal and dedicated supporters, as I like to say, but some of our most supportive channels. And what that tells me, I'm just guessing, grasping at straws, let's just say, but I think Simply Debbie Sue, now first of all, she's been here for just about every stream since finding us, and she's been with us for many months as well. I don't think Simply Debbie Sue's been here a year yet. I keep making mistakes with this. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Forgive me while I scroll like crazy. 4 months ago, so maybe it's been about 6 months. Am I right about that? I feel like it's longer already because she's here for just about every stream, and I run into her every day, supporting other people as well. Not to mention, she does a really great job on her channel, and it's pretty unique, and I'll describe it in a quick second. But I see this creator out there supporting others, and the reason why I'm going on so much about it is just to say I think Simply Debbie Sue really seems to understand the concept that we're going for here, connecting with creators who you know are incredibly supportive. because I think even just today I saw them in two different. It was either today or yesterday. I saw them in two different channels, and I'm like, oh, they're friends with people who we've been friends with for years, which is great because what we want is for everybody to get the maximum value out of your time here. And you can really tell by watching the way people conversate in the chat whether they're going to be a loyal and dedicated supporter to you before you connect with them. We're always guessing. We can't be sure. But you know what I mean. Some creators will talk about the things they're doing on their channel. Other creators will talk about the things they've seen on other people's channels. And that's a little bit of a hint there when we think about generosity and the idea of focusing on other people, knowing that we'll get everything that we want if we help others. So Simply Debbie Sue is going to bring us spiritual inspiration along with heartwarming stories that are written and narrated by the creator. I'm just going to grab the latest one and put that into my catch-up list. I was going to run it, but it obviously didn't work for whatever reason. Maybe I reset the computer, switched Windows or something. So I'm going to go back over it, but I'll get through both of these. Simply Debbie Sue gives us a chance to get to know her as well, though, and sometimes introduces us to family. She's got Happy Meal on the channel, which also tells me she's having even more impact on others than I'm talking about. And then she's got Shorts over here at 1,700, 1,800 views, and she's working on 1,400 subscribers, if I didn't already say that. Faith, Stories, and Simple Joys. And she's got a wonderful About section here as well that she's really put creativity into, so I hope everybody will check that out. We can take inspiration from each other in a lot of different ways from all the things we're doing on our channels, including our About sections, our community posts, and just about anything we can find from each other. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Van Lot is also live right this second. They got a Happy Meal video here, so that one I'm going to go back through. This creator's doing a couple of different things. So Van Lot is a pastor, if I understand correctly, and they're bringing us spiritual inspiration on their channel. A lot of devotionals. They do a lot of trivia, I think, in their live streams as well. And they've got what they call Big Daddy's Workshop here. So this is what I meant earlier when I said we've had this influx lately of channels doing a lot of woodworking, and I think these channels are all interconnected. And it started, I believe, with Van Lot. I think I can't remember for the life of me who introduced us to Van Lot. But this creator keeps sending friends over. Every time I'm on their channel, we've rated in there, but every time I'm on there, I see them encouraging people to connect. They've got a very vibrant audience, a fast-paced chat, but everybody's really engaged and friends with each other. You'll get that idea when you get over there. There's a lot of positivity, inspiration, and motivation there as well. 1,800, 2,100, 2,500 views, and Van Lot is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They're working on 700 subscribers. And like I said, they're live right now. So if they're still on after Tuber Chat, hopefully I'll get in there with another window. I usually have 3 or 4 things going at a time. And they're incredibly supportive, an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. That might be the case, Wheats Art. I'm unsure. I thought that I left my catch-up list running this morning because I knew I wasn't going to end up with time to watch the videos this time. And I think I said it before I went to work. And I didn't really look when I came in. I forgot all about it until I was resetting the computer and everything for TuberChat. And then I guess I didn't notice. So anything's possible. But I find also once in a while, even when running a playlist on YouTube, that it doesn't always continue on to the next video. I've had many times where I'd almost call it a glitch, where it just starts spitting off into other things. I always leave the computer running, always. So if I'm sleeping or if I'm out at work, there's 3 live streams and a playlist running as a minimum, right? when I get home from work, sometimes I see a channel I'm not subscribed to. And I'm like, oh, that's because YouTube just spit me off into whatever was next, instead of following the algorithm or whatever we wanna call it. If that makes any sense. So the J Jordan is up here. This creator was talking about earlier sharing on X. He does that for us all the time. The J Jordan's been another over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. Now they have their 10,000 subscribers, and I believe that's a combination of posting usually multiple times a day, tons of live streaming, tons of collaborating with other people, and tons of supporting for others, so then they get their stuff supported and shared too. I'm just going to grab one of their latest videos from last week. I'll put this in my catch-up list. They've got a couple of premieres coming up, one of them tonight in another 25 minutes or so, and then another one half an hour after that. So you see what I mean? They're putting out videos all the time. They do a lot of fitness, they take us bowling, they bring a lot of music. 13,000, 17,000, 21,000 views on some of these short videos, and then live streams. They take us all over the place. They'll take us for long walks. They'll take us on their motorcycle. They'll take us bowling, and they'll bring us into their home for some music and fitness and other things. Just that's the J Jordan. Hopefully everybody will connect with them, get some of that support coming back to you as well. Pardon me. Oh, and then so Mike's Adventure Sparks, for me to run multiple windows, it basically looks like this. I just squish them, and then I can run 4 at a time, let's just say. So this is what my computer looks like all the time. I have another monitor, so I do that over there. But you see what I mean, right? So I fire up a few windows, I look at who's on, Driving Daily's live right now. Driver Mitch, I don't know if I've seen anything from them. Michael's Adventures premiere is coming up. Let me save the URL for that. Actually, I could just save the whole window, but no, I can't. But you know what I mean. So that's how I do it. And then when you hop into these things, you've got the chat running underneath. So if I bring Michael's Adventures back over, you see what I mean, right? And then I could have like a tuber chat one beside it. So you're able to continue chatting, and then you just hop up to the video and watch when you need to. A lot of times when people are live streaming, you watch while they're talking. When you need to say something, you scroll up, leave a message, you know, if that makes any sense. So this is what I do every day. And this is how I get through, like I said, at least dozens, sometimes hundreds of videos per week. Travel Around Susie is coming up. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then Dilo Flow Show says putting comments out there is a great idea. Certainly. This is how you get noticed by other people. We all know what it's like to put out videos that get 1 or 2 comments, right? Put out Instagram posts, they get 1 or 2 comments. We're usually happy when they do. But when you see, when you think about the comments you're leaving for other people, that helps you understand the impact that those are having. So, yeah, thank you, Travel Around Susie, and thank you, Scratch and PPA. I wondered about that when it was coming up, but thank you for clarifying that. So, Scratch and PPA is coming up. What we're going to do right now, though, is take one more break. We'll make this the last one. We'll just go for 3.5 minutes, and then we'll come right back. All right, we're looking at Scratch and PPA. So this is a beloved and dedicated moderator, and I can't say enough about these creators that you see in blue in the chat, because they have all been dear friends to me. They're all dear friends of each other. They've all been with us for years. They all have different channels and they all do different things. But one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity. And for that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you will be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your own channel the exact same way we do here in Tuber Chat. We all do it exactly the same way. After all of these years. In Scratch and PPA's case, like Michael's Adventures and Jesse Journals and Unboxes, they've all been with us between 5 and 6 years, if you could believe that. Now, Scratch and PPA does an interesting thing on his channel. He put a lot of consideration into what he was going to do before he did it. He pits 2 lottery scratch tickets against each other and offers us the opportunity to vote on the content of next week's video if we follow him on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, which of course I do. It sets his series apart, makes it unique and a lot of fun to be a part of. This creator premieres with perfect consistency. He has not missed a week in 5.5 years, if you can imagine that. Every Tuesday at 12:15 Eastern, his videos come out. 99% of those have been premieres. If you can catch us for one of his premieres, you're going to find one of the fastest rolling chats you've seen in the Tuber Chat family. Faster than this, faster than what's happening here, faster than almost any other. And when we look at what he's doing, like I said, he pits 2 lottery tickets against each other, but lets us vote. So there's a lesson to be learned about the ways that he is bringing in extra interactivity into his video series with the other social networks. And hopefully everybody will connect with Scratch and PPA that's in here right now. He is working on 2,800 subscribers. He's past 2,700 now. This creator's monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Like I said, he's a fellow Canadian, just a couple hours away from me. So I recognize most of the lottery scratch tickets in his videos. I have my favorites here, like the I'm starting to become a fan of Bigger Spin because he's doing them so much, but the crossword and bingo ones have always been my favorites. My favorite concept is Cash for Life. I thought he just did a Cash for Life one. Where was the latest Cash for Life? Where essentially what they do is they give you either $1,000 a week for life or $2,000 a week for life, plus I guess there's a payout there, but I haven't played enough to know. When we look at Scratch and PPA, there's also a hint here. Now, first of all, his presentation, he's always had at the forefront of his mind. His video editing skills have been complimented ever since his very first video. But he has upped the game, and he was already doing a fantastic job. But he goes over and above with the shout-outs that happen for creators that take part in the giveaways in his video series. And you get the hint about that in the thumbnails on the videos. These, of course, match the bright, beautiful avatar. His banner's updated every single week, if you can imagine that. And then Scratch and PPA gives us some tips and tricks as well without even saying so. When we look at his channel, you'll see that he's got the times that it takes to run his playlists in the playlist titles. So when he's swapping with other creators, they know exactly what they're getting into, and all of our moderators still do that. It's still a benefit to monetize channels, because when somebody runs a playlist of your videos, they're running every video from beginning to end. Or you know what I mean? So that can help retention on your channel, if that makes sense. Scratch and PPA a couple of years ago took a trip to Italy and brought us some vlogging style shorts videos, giving us a look at all the places he visited in Italy, and some Italian lottery tickets as well. Then he returned to Italy this past summer and brought us an entire series of Italian lottery tickets in shorts on his channel. So hopefully everybody will check all of these out as well. He also brought us his very first live stream from Italy. I was lucky enough to be there at the time, but you can catch the replay. And this creator hopefully everybody will connect with him. Like I said, we'll move him towards the 2,800 subscribers we know he's thinking about. So let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel up onto the screen. Thank you, Scratch and PP. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that. But yes, I did set the live redirect. I'll get the link ready to go. You know, I'm really not kidding when I talk about the generosity of these creators and how much they not only do for each other, but think about each other and think about others. Jesse is an example of this as well. Just Jason Keto is still on the wheel with Kristen Welton. They're both beloved and dedicated moderators, but Jesse Journals and Unboxes is also a moderator now for a couple of years. I'm just going to pin that link if I can. And Michael's Adventures premiere will be starting in about 10 minutes. He always puts a lengthy intro on that, so it'll give us another chance to look at one or two more channels, but I'll move it as quickly as I can now. So Jesse Journals and Unboxes, this creator's been with us for just getting close to 6 years as well, and is working on 2,800 subscribers. It's like Jesse Journals and Unboxes and Scratch and PPA are tied in a race here or something. It's not a race at all, but you know what I mean. Jesse Journals and Unboxes over the years has unboxed all kinds of different things. The channel went through a bit of a change a couple of years ago when she put a lot more focus on journaling, collages, and showing us a lot of the things that are made with the crafting supplies that she frequently unboxes. Although she does much more, so a lot of subscription services. Once in a while she does a haul. She occasionally and actually frequently gets Happy Mail from other people. She does a couple of interesting things. You'll notice that she uses the official collaboration feature here. She's collaborated with other people, but she also gets the owners of some of the businesses that run these subscription services to come into the chat as well. It's just a part of what she does, but everybody knows what it's like to see these mystery unboxings, right, of all sorts of different things. Over the years, she's done bath and beauty products, snacks, stationery, books, postcards, crafting supplies, washi tape, basically you name it, and it's here. And she continues this now. So she really brings us a lot of insight. I often say when people ask, how long should a video be? And I say a video should be however long it should be. And a lot of people want to aim. They want to try to make it 8 minutes so they can put an ad in it, or they want to, you know, make it longer, keep people longer if they can, or they want to make it shorter and cut out the fluff and this and that. Jesse Journals and Unboxes, I think even her video production, if I'm not mistaken, has increased over the years, where she puts so much consideration into describing the different things, but you hear her passion come out in the different things that she's unboxing, whether it is things like postcards and books and other crafting supplies or Happy Mail that she's got. And she really gets into a lot of detail, the history behind how the things came about, and the reason that she has them, let's say, as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Jesse Journals and Unboxes. You'll see what I mean. She drops a premiere every Sunday as a minimum. Once in a while she has extra content. She does shorts, I think, once a week. Am I right about that? Just Jesse Journals and Unboxes, if you don't mind, just let me know, because after all this time I still don't have a handle on if you're dropping shorts on a weekly schedule, because I thought I picked up on that the other day and I could be mistaken. More concise, says Jesse. The opposite of what I'm thinking, actually. But yeah, you can really hear this creator's excitement in the different things that she brings to us in her videos. She features a lot of the things she finds in the unboxings in short videos on the channel. Lots of washi tape here. I only know what that is because of her channel. But otherwise, like I said, bath and beauty products. If you dig through here, you'll find stationery, snacks, jewelry, and other ideas as well. And then live streams. So she just did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and it had been a long time. One of the lessons that can be learned here is that Jessie is so supportive to other creators. As a matter of fact, in the time that we've known her, I say we, but I mean me, but let's say we in the Superchat family have known her over 5 or 6 years now. This creator support for everybody has increased, if you can imagine that. And when you get to her channel, you'll see between the quality work that she puts out in her videos, plus the fact that she's so supportive to other people. She did not live stream for over a year. See, look at this. 2 years ago, it says 2 years, not 1 year. And dropped another live stream this past week. Now, on top of the consistency, of course, of her premieres every week. Or a couple weeks ago, she did another live stream. And a flood of support in the chat again because of how much she does for others and how much she engages her audience. So hopefully everybody will connect with Jessie Journals and Unboxes. And let's spin the wheel. Short every Thursday. Forgive me, Jessie. I should know that by now. I get so confused with creators on so many of these schedules. I thought you said something like that the other day. Peter Dell's in the house. First video I ever actually made, like filmed and produced, was on a channel that I ran for somebody else, and we went out to do some asphalt work, I think, and that was that. Myself personally, why can't I remember? I think it was my flight lesson. Was my very first video a flight lesson? I think it was. And I could be wrong about that now, but I often say to people, if you try to name your first 5 videos in the order you put them out, nobody could do it because we don't remember that far back. It didn't matter as much as we thought it did. More important that we get the content out in a catalog of content, if that makes sense. Aaron the Carnivorish Guy, thank you for still being here or coming back in. Kristen Walton, my love, we're going to talk about in a second. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. And then my love, Kristen Welton. So this creator has a channel of her own. She's doing her own thing. She just put a video out yesterday. And I thought I watched this video on my personal channel. That's why. This creator, this is part 2 of unboxing video. And she does a few different series here, actually. She started with makeup and beauty. She continues that today. She's gotten into product reviews, even sponsored videos. And now she's got a series going on as well. Kristen is somebody who lives with multiple sclerosis. And she describes the symptoms, how it affects her. We talk about it sometimes. And she gives us a chance to really get to know her on her channel as well. She experiments with different ideas like thumbnails, titles. She uses Canva for a lot of things. She also uses Photoshop, though. This creator in shorts has gotten into 19,000, 22,000, 28,000 views. She's working on 1,800 subscribers, and she's live streamed many times as well. We've done a couple of things together. She's collaborated with other people, and she's both done indoor and outdoor live streams, StreamYard panels, and hopefully everybody will connect with Kristen Welton. Like I said, monetize. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. She tries to drop videos pretty frequently. I wouldn't say quite once a week on schedule, but almost. She tends to think of things monthly and then puts the videos out as she deems appropriate, let's just say. But more weeks than not, she drops them. And will probably very soon be getting into a weekly schedule again. New Times, New Beginnings is coming up. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then Cabaret Universe, good to see you in the house. Thank you and Peter Dell both for coming in. New Times, New Beginnings has a couple of different channels. This creator brings us a mix of indoor and outdoor content, a lot of taste test reviews. Once in a while, they take us shopping. Otherwise, they bring us a look into their work. They work with animals all the time, and they share that with us. You get that idea when you get through some of the videos on the channel, but they've gotten into 1,700 views, 2,100 views on a couple of these shorts here, and then live streams on the channel they've done as an experiment as well. They've got a second channel, and it's called Fuzzy Adventures and More. I'm going to bring that channel up, and you'll see that this is complimentary content. So they've done some live stream experiments over here, and they'll likely continue those soon enough. They've got shorts on this channel as well. This is where they give us a little bit more of the look of the furry friends that they spend their days working with. And then they've got videos on the channel as well. It gives us more of a mix along the lines of what we were talking about with the shopping, the taste test reviews, and more of their work. So I'm going to take another video from this channel, put it in that catch-up list. Still got to get through the videos from the other day, and then we'll spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. Michael's Adventures premiere is going to start any second. I'm just going to drop the link for that again. He'll put a nice long intro on that, and I will see everybody over there after Tuber Chat. Just Jason Keto's coming up. I thought for a second this might be the last channel of the day, but Vintage V Mars looks like they've taken the save the best for last position. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Oh, and then Jason, you have to forgive me. He wasn't on for a few weeks live streaming, and then he did a live stream last night. I was looking forward to it, and then I was doing family stuff. I wasn't able to be in there for that. I'm going to rerun it, just for the sake of rerunning, let's say, a live stream replay. But this creator's typically on every Thursday. He does a mix of talking about a keto-based diet or lifestyle, typically a proper human diet, and a lot of YouTube we talk about as well, because he's got a lot of friends that have YouTube channels. Even outside of the Tuber Chat community, he's introduced us to friends, but he shares what he learns and wants to motivate and inspire others. On his channel, typically, though, what you're going to find in the content is talk about a keto-based diet or lifestyle with recipes or product reviews. What I like about the recipes is they only feature a few ingredients. They're simple and easy to make and don't take a lot of time. When I talk about product reviews, he might be thinking about something that we find in a grocery or health food store, or he might be talking about an appliance for the kitchen, or he might be talking about something for our YouTube journey, like a camera or a gimbal. He's got lots of guests on the channel that join him and bring their insight, their tips and tricks. He's thinking about the audience, so sometimes he brings a different series of videos. And then when we look at shorts on his channel, we see that these are starting to get into hundreds of views for every single one, but 8,000, 11,000, 23,000 on some of these. And healthy looking grilling shorts do really well for him. I've seen that do well for other creators also. He is now over 8,000 subscribers. We'd love to push him towards the 9,000 we know he's going to be thinking about. He is monetized, lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. And he's somebody who I've actually had the pleasure of meeting in real life several times. Just Jason Keto's only a couple hours away from me, and if there's any luck, we'll probably get together again in a couple of months, or maybe even less, who knows. 8K giveaway is coming soon, he says. The live stream, I did notice the part 2 thing, actually. I think that came up recommended for me. I think that's how I realized, Jason, I was going to miss the live stream. I peeked in, right? Didn't I peek in and say hello before it started? And then I wasn't able to be in there. I was very occupied. Just Jason Keto, though, has a complimentary channel called It's Just Jason. This is where he gives us a look at some of the travel footage or other things that don't necessarily fit with the keto-based diet or lifestyle. well. And then hopefully everybody will connect with Just Jason Keto and now Vintage V. We're going to talk about this channel in a quick second here. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And then thank you everybody for the time that you spent. I really do appreciate every moment everybody can be here. I know not everybody can be here every day, and certainly not for 3 hours every time we stream. I appreciate all our friends who run the stream in the background or listen while they drive or work or do other things. And for every moment that everybody spends, even if you're just peeking in to give a thumbs up. And hopefully everybody will connect with our moderators. I wouldn't be able to do these streams the way they are if it wasn't for their help. We continue to grow. It is strong and solid and sometimes feels almost ridiculously overwhelming. Everybody knows what that's like here in the chat sometimes, so I appreciate that, but I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if it wasn't for all the things that they do for us as well. So they all have channels. I hope you'll connect with all of them. And then Vintage V is somebody who's been with us for quite a while now. I'm not sure if it's been a year. Has it been a year? Or is it just maybe just shy of a year, if I'm not mistaken? They're putting out tons of videos lately, lots of video gameplay. I'm just going to grab the latest video, though. This is a bit of a different video, a chance maybe to get to know the creator a little bit more. 507 subscribers, so they've passed an exciting and important milestone. They've got shorts on the channel that bring more variety, but these have gotten into 8,000, 15,000, 27,000 views, which is great to see, and then live streams on the channel as well. So it could be video gameplay. I caught one from them a few weeks ago, which is cool. They were playing Super Mario World. I couldn't remember which game was which. I was more used to the Super Mario 2 and 3, but Super Mario World they were on the other day. And we'll see what they're going to continue to do. So Vintage V, obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And let us know if you're going to live stream again so that we can plan to catch that if you want to. Thank you again, everybody. We're going to make a quick exit. We'll go over to Michael's Adventures channel. I'll drop the link again in another second, and I'll see everybody over there, and then we're back on Monday. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.